It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. We are live, man. AEW Dynamite tonight. Another solid 2 hours of professional wrestling on your Wednesday night as we head into Double or Nothing on May 30th. Major news this afternoon coming from Tony Khan. AEW Dynamite is moving to TBS. And we finally have news on AEW's new show coming to TNT. We will talk about that and what that means right here on the podcast. Christian Cage versus Matt Sydal. Miro. Oh, where has Miro been from the beginning? And we got two big title matches on Dynamite tonight, plus the build between Kenny Omega, Orange Cassidy, and Pac continues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the only podcast that you need on your Wednesday night. This is your AEW Dynamite post show right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for May 19th, 2021. I'm your host, JD from New York, and I'm joined by my very good friend, as always, Heel Jesse. Heel Jesse, what is going on, my friend? How you doing this evening?
Good, brother. How you feel today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Before we get
it's a fucking great night, man. You see the fucking action we get tonight, man?
He's already in the mood. I see you're already in the mood.
Let's get to it, man. Let's go.
I know. Before we get into it, just a little side note. I know he's probably not listening, but he always surprises me with a text when I least expect it, saying, "Hey, I listened to your show last night. Happy birthday to my father today." He's celebrating a birthday, so shout out to him. And I called him earlier. He had a very busy day with the move to Delaware and get the new house ready, doing work on that. But he's trying his best to relax tonight. And he tends to tune into Dynamite every now and then and shoot me a text about what he likes and what he doesn't like. But happy birthday to my dad. Hopefully it's a good one. Jesse, what'd you think of Dynamite tonight? I thought it was a solid 2 hours of wrestling tonight, and we got some major news to go over, man. I know you're itching to talk about it. I know I'm itching to talk about it. Solid 2 hours of wrestling tonight in light of the big news.
Big day, man. Big day. I was worried. You know, when you hear that big news that's dropping in wrestling, I don't know about anybody else, but my first thoughts are like, oh, fuck no. Now what? Yeah. You know, and then when you read the news, like, oh, okay, this wasn't bad. As a matter of fact, this is pretty good. Okay, it's still a good day. Awesome. So, I'm liking it, man. I'm liking the expansion. AEW's expansion. It seems they went out of their way to not step on any professional toes.
Yep.
It's kind of big of them. I like that. They didn't have to do that, but they did. So I like the move. I like the change.
Yeah, me too. Moving to TBS is going to be a good thing. It's a big thing for them because I do think TBS is actually more household than TNT. I'm not sure how much of a difference that's going to make. And we might as well get right into it. The big news today, ladies and gentlemen, is Tony Khan was on Busted Open Radio, and he announced that AEW Dynamite is moving to TBS in 2022, and they are no longer going to be on TNT with their main show of Dynamite. What they're doing is moving Dynamite to TBS. AEW Rampage is set to debut in August on TNT. That is going to be their other show that is going to be, if I was to put it in simpler terms, this is going to be AEW's SmackDown, where Dynamite is their Monday Night Raw, or if you want to go based on WWE television right now, Dynamite is their SmackDown, and this may be their Monday Night Raw, but everything under the sun is better than Monday Night Raw. It's actually very disrespectful of me to really be putting anything in the same sentence as Monday Night Raw. Got to get my cheap Raw jokes in there. But Rampage is debuting in August on TNT, August 13th at 10 p.m. to be exact. Now, Jesse, back in April, it was officially announced that the NHL and Turner Broadcasting actually reached a 7-year media rights agreement. Regular season games, in addition to the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Stanley Cup finals, will air on TNT and TBS starting in the fall. At the time, fans wondered how this deal would impact AEW. At the time, fans were even wondering if this would move NXT back to Wednesdays, but that is not the case, as NXT is remaining on Tuesday and should be on Tuesday for the foreseeable future. Now, we have news coming out of Turner, and it was started with the NHL deal possibly going to ESPN, and there were talks with other networks. NHL and TBS struck a deal late, and this is coming from Brett Weitz, who is the general manager over at TNT, TBS, and True TV. So he's got some power over there in Turner. He says this, and I quote, "Did the NHL move have anything to do with it?" Meaning the move of AEW to TBS. Sure. NHL had something to do with it. NBA had something to do with it. The COVID schedule, the ton of preemptions had something to do with it. When we looked where the consumers are going to be, where wrestling fans were going to be, we want to give them the most opportunity to consume as many shows possible. We felt TBS had an opportunity to do the network and the best platform for expansion. End quote. It's been revealed that Dynamite's schedule is already being preempted, speaking of which. The May 26th show is being moved to Friday, May 28th, and that will air at 10 p.m. Now, if you guys watch Dynamite tonight, it doesn't really look like that solid of a card, and two reasons. Number one, Double or Nothing is pretty much in the can. Everything is set for Double or Nothing. And two, at 10 p.m., most of the people like me and Jesse will be flying into Jacksonville, so it's going to be a Nothing Dynamite for that go-home show. There will also be Dynamite shows airing on different nights in June as well, and that is obviously as we get closer to the NBA Finals. It's going to be a big deal over on the Turner Networks. Jesse, this is a major move. I'm glad everything had worked out in AEW's favor. Rampage, I'm very much looking forward to. At the 10 o'clock hour, I'm not really too excited about that aspect of it, but I'm excited because we finally get a secondary show for quote-unquote the main roster of AEW. And what I hope this finally accomplishes is that it balances out the rosters, separating the darks from the main shows, keeping everything that is very prevalent to dark, leave the essence of that show the way it is, indie talents, indie darlings, up-and-coming talents, use it as a developmental tool. And really, whoever's ready from that show, you want to give a spot to the main shows like a Dynamite or now a Rampage. This is where you need to start separating those rosters from dark, and now you got these two main shows, Rampage and Dynamite. Now, a lot of people are wondering as well, what's going to happen with Dynamite on TBS? Are they going to do anything on TNT outside of Rampage? In fact, there was news on that as well, and I spoke to Jesse about this earlier today in a brief phone call between him and I. They are actually going to do special events on TNT, which I'm assuming will be Dynamite shows, and they will be filling in the blanks in between those long periods between pay-per-views, being that AEW only has 4 pay-per-views per year. So they're going to use these special events to drive those dead months, those dead weeks. They're going to always have something to build towards, and it's going to be like, quote unquote, their Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event was a big deal. WWE could still utilize that in a very important way nowadays, but they refuse to do so. All in all, this is a great move, an exciting move for AEW. I'm stoked about this. Jesse, I know you're just as excited as I am about this. I think this is fucking awesome.
This is, man. You know what it kind of feels like to me? I don't necessarily see it as a like a SmackDown type show just because it's only an hour.
Yes.
And it feels like Dynamite itself is still trying to make it to a level as such as SmackDown. It feels like a WCW Thunder, you know. And I don't know how much of the main talent will end up on this show. I'm wondering if this is gonna end up being like a televised version of Dark per se. Only reason I say that is because of the time slot they get. I mean, what kind of ratings are they looking to drive? It doesn't seem like they're focused on the ratings in this time slot, especially after another 2-hour mainstream wrestling show is already happening.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this is their opportunity to not only get, it's not gonna, I wouldn't say full on Dark, but I mean, you'll have just a lot of feature matches, squash matches and things like that. And as opposed to Elevation and Dark, you get these faces on television. Actually legitimately on television. So meaning they might, I mean, again, we don't know. We found this shit out the same time everybody else did. But we might see less non-contracted AEW talent on TV, if I had to guess at it. You know, so if you've already gotten a deal, mostly people who've gotten deals will be seen on TV, and maybe they'll leave the experiments onto the internet, onto YouTube.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It's probably going to be a take on WCW Thunder and what that was to WCW. A lot of people are already making assumptions that in 2 aspects. Number one, what's going to happen to the TNT title? Are they going to rename it the TBS title? I don't think that's really important information. I think that's just really overthinking things. I don't see why they would get rid of the TNT Championship if TNT, TBS, and True TV and all these other networks, they're all under the same umbrella. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they change the name of the championship or not. In fact, it may be more work to change the championship to the TBS championship. And in fact, I think the TNT title sounds a little bit more roll off the tongue better than the TBS championship. So that's just my take on that. And number 2, a lot of people are already wondering, are they going to compete with SmackDown? No, it's not a fuel. It's not a method to compete with SmackDown at all. AEW is doing this for their own purpose, and it has absolutely nothing to do with WWE. So anybody that's bringing that argument up, you are part of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's we're wrestling fans. Everybody likes rivalry. Everybody likes competition. All of that jazz. And any way that they can kind of correlate the 2 companies, people will always do, you know, that. And it doesn't help that WWE and AEW at times seem to go out of their way to mention the competition. So you can't really blame the fans too much for, you know, inventing their own, because the companies do their own about throwing their own shade. We just saw more shade thrown, you know, between both companies. I mean, it's going to happen. It's never going to stop happening. So as long as the companies are doing it, why would the fans stop?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But this is big. This is big news. This is big news completely. I was actually surprised that this was leaked right before Double or Nothing, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. Tony Khan is using Busted Open Radio as a fuel to get out a lot of promotion with AEW. So anytime he's on, it's becoming one of those things, Jesse, where it's definitely newsworthy to say the least. So today was no different. And we got this major news happening. I also got major news on Full Gear. Now, you all know that AEW is getting fans back in attendance in full capacity. Double or Nothing will have 5,500 people in attendance at Daly's Place. this is obviously going to be a great night of professional wrestling just based on that aspect alone because we've been without that. But we got news, Jesse, on Full Gear. Now, Full Gear doesn't happen until November, but AEW seemingly has already picked a city outside of Florida for Full Gear. Now, on top of the news that broke today, and the information kept coming in regards to what AEW is planning to do for the rest of the year, according to Fightful Select, the current plan is for St. Louis to host Full Gear. Why? What happened? What happened? You went to Chicago, didn't you?
Hey, man, this is the birthplace of AEW.
I know. But St. Louis is hosting Full Gear, according to Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select. They plan to run Rampage live on Friday night before AEW Full Gear on Saturday. And the pay-per-view event will likely take place on November 6th with AEW Rampage taping on November 5th. Both shows are noted to take place in St. Louis, and AEW did not at all yet confirm this venue or the place, St. Louis. The current plan is for AEW to run Rampage live Friday night before AEW Full Gear, which will air on a Saturday. So things are slowly getting back to normal, Jesse. WWE's got their own thing going on. Obviously, if you guys heard the news there, they got new sets coming up. They got SmackDown Live July 16th with fans bleeding into Money in the Bank. Things are getting back to normal, man. It's going to be... I was talking to Hoop Media about this earlier, and we both agreed that when AEW gets back to Dynamite away from Daly's place, it's almost going to be as exciting as their debut episode. This is going to be a great thing.
It is. And probably, not just AEW. WWE as well. I mean, for all the glory right now. Fans just want to be a part of the live shows. We're kind of just tired of having our opinions told to us and implied and our intelligence insulted by not getting the reactions that we want to give. So we want to get back out there and let everybody know what we feel. It's just not the same anymore. I mean, even if we love it or hate it, I mean, we just need to be there. So touring schedules sound great. I'm hoping Chicago is soon. Like I said, Chicago is opening up pretty much everything. But it is all vaccination-oriented events. Like Lollapalooza is back. If you prove your vaccination, you can get into Lollapalooza and full crowds, no masks, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's getting there. I mean, it's getting there in tears. I mean, it's not going to be a flick of a switch and we're all back to normal. We just got to be patient and let it start to come back in tears. So, St. Louis is not that far from me, man.
No, it's not. I was wondering why you were complaining. I mean, you could easily attend that if you so chose.
It's not bad. But as a matter of fact, my sister, who's coming with us, she lives in Springfield. So I can go crash at my sister's house and be across the street.
Well, I think I would. If I was you, that sounds like a great idea if you want to go. But I think with the whole Chicago thing, they're doing this rollout slowly but surely. I think for Revolution, they'll be right back in Chicago. To be honest, with you, So.
Yeah, I'm sure they're looking to come back as soon as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, we have more news coming up. I got news on Don Callis. Apparently, he may no longer be with Impact much longer. And we got news on Chris Jericho. Is he really injured or not? We got news on Tessa Blanchard as she was taking pictures inside the Nightmare Factory. We'll let Jesse have fun with that and let everybody just kind of pick his brain on that and what he thinks about Tessa Blanchard. I'll give my thoughts on where I think she's going, and we may not find out until Double or Nothing where she is, and that's exactly where I think she's going to go. And I also got news on AEW as it pertains to, if I can find my notes, we got Ricky Starks. Apparently, everybody was claiming that he had a knee injury on top of the neck injury. He kind of set everybody straight with what he is going to do as far as his injury-related status. So we got a loaded show here tonight, guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by the OTS venue tonight. Make sure you follow us on social media as you see our 2 @ on the screen right there. If you guys want to partake in my social media, at JDfromNY206 on Twitter and on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications. If you're new to the channel, I would really appreciate you jump on board. We are here every single week for Dynamite. And I am here live 4 days a week on top of Saturday's flagship podcast, Off the Script. Make sure you guys go and do that for me. Hit that thumbs up on the stream. Let's try for over 750 thumbs up on the live stream tonight. That is the goal. I would really, really appreciate it. Super chats are open, so get them on in, guys. We'll hang out at the end of the show as always. The mods have it easy for now, so sit back, sit VIP, open a cold beverage, and enjoy yourselves, guys. Make sure you follow the stream as well. Like I said, YouTube was down yesterday, and I seemingly was talking to myself for about a good hour and a half. YouTube went down, started trending worldwide. Number one, YouTube is down. We got an NXT review off, and the show must go on. I was thinking about cutting the cord when everything started going down and saying, fuck NXT, I don't really give a shit, but I trekked on through. We got a review up, so if you guys missed that or the Monday Night Raw live streams, they are on the channel right now, so go and check all that stuff out. And today's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Advanced GG. Advanced.gg. You guys are going to use code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. If you guys want to know how I stay consistent, if you guys want to know how I stay energized and awake, especially on Monday night, Advanced GG is my go-to. All natural caffeine, developed by scientists. It is the number one leading esports branded supplement. You guys take this and you'll be good to go no matter what aspect you're using it for, no matter what facet of life, whether you're working out, going to work, doing the podcast thing like I do here. If you guys like to stream on Twitch or YouTube, you want to dabble in some Warzone, some Destiny, some Apex Legends, Advanced GG has got you covered, man. Advanced.gg. Use code SCRIPTS at checkout for 10% off. Jesse, we're going to start at the top here. Christian Cage, out wrestle everyone versus Matt Sydal. Now, I know you and I have been very hard on Christian Cage, and tonight, I think for the first time since his debut, I'm starting to warm up just a little bit to Christian Cage. What I watched tonight with him and Sydal brought me back to an old school episode of Raw. I thought they wrestled a damn good match to open the show. And I think Matt Sydal, when he's solo and away from his brother and away from a tag team, I think he's a very underrated performer. I thought these two guys absolutely killed it in the opening to Dynamite tonight.
My interest in Christian Cage has not gone up a single tad from tonight. Now, look, he had a great match. Him and Sydal had a great opening match. I mean, having great matches is not going to change my opinion as to what he's doing here, why he's here, and how he's going about it. This was a great match. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it was nobody ever accused Christian of being a bad wrestler. No. You know, I mean, and people are saying that he's old. I don't even think he's too old to go. I mean, he looks in phenomenal shape. He can still wrestle. There's no reason why he can't be out there tearing it up with some matches here and there. But that's what I would like to see him in. He came back and he kind of gave them the implication that he's coming back to just be at the top and challenge Omega and everything else. And he kind of just showed his intentions as opposed to saying, hey, I'm coming back to just help out where I can, teach where I can, you know, get in the ring here and there, but I'm here full time. And let him put his wins together and then let us be the ones to say, well, shit, let's get him in the ring with Omega. He's killing it. Yeah. You know, as opposed to coming back and saying, I'm going for Omega, and then we have bad reactions to it. Then they scale him back and put him at the bottom of the card, let him work himself way up. I'm just waiting for them to do what they already said they wanted to do. It seems like he's got a rocket pack on him. He's going to go straight to Kenny. So let's just get to it. I mean, it's not what we want to see. It's not, we've been told we're going to get it. And just by the core of what they're telling us, it doesn't sound interesting. Now, if they would have just given it to us and just let it happen and happen organically, we might have a different fucking story. And that introduction to AEW didn't do him any favors either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still very, as far as AEW debuting Christian on Dynamite and to the company, I thought it was a complete fuck up. Looking back at the end of the year, it's going to be one of their more terrible decisions at the end of the year. But as far as Christian goes, they're really hyping him up in this battle royal. And I feel, I mentioned this I mentioned this last week, that with Christian in the battle royal, it's almost a given that he's going to win. I mean, I don't really see anybody else going in there and being successful eliminating Christian Cage. It would go against the outwork everyone. I mean, there's no better way to outwork anyone than being in the first group of people out there in a battle royal. Number two, being eliminated from a battle royal is just as good as being pinned. You lost the match. So him going in and him announcing that he's going to be in the battle royal, the battle royal is a number one contendership for Kenny Omega in the AEW championship. They're already making the battle royal predictable on top of his debut, which was completely botched. I don't really think it's a good look for them and Christian Cage to be doing this battle royal with him involved. I would rather him just be built up if they're really going to put him and Omega in a title match, which I don't think is going to happen on pay-per-view. I think it'll happen on a random edition of Dynamite, a special episode of Dynamite. If they want to build him up for Omega, why don't they just build him up through winning matches? Why are you giving us a predictable battle royal?
Yeah. I don't think I have him to win that battle royal.
You don't have him winning. You don't have him winning the battle royal.
No, I don't. Because having him lose it gives him something else to do. Have him lose it, and it gives whoever eliminates him, it gives him a feud to get into before they eventually get. He's not getting to Kenny. If he gets to Kenny undefeated, I'm not even watching the fucking match. Well, let me stop you there. Before we even get to Omega, he may be already on the downfall of this Forbidden Door shit. Who knows? Yeah. But that's the thing. He needs to have a blemish. And if they don't want to job him out in a singles match, why not have him lose a match with 30 other fucking people who are in it? And he's protected. And that leads into his next feud. He comes back from that loss at that battle royal, continues to build back up, and he can get to Kenny with a battle royal loss.
I could see that. Of the world. Yeah, I could see that. Do I see them doing that? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be best if he wins this battle royal. We're approaching just Roman Reigns level of just shoving him down our throats at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't and shouldn't do that. If they care about him getting over as a baby face, they can't do that. Because by the time they get to live fans, this guy will get fucking booed out of the fucking arena.
Well, as far as the match goes with Matt Sydal, I thought it was a very good opening match. Christian is looking great in the ring for being away for 7 years. Matt Sydal, very underrated. He's also very good at what he does. Sydal actually went for a springboard attack. Christian cut him off with a kick right to the leg. He then hit a drop kick to the outside. He used a backbreaker back in the ring. After the backbreaker spot, Christian targeted Sydal's back with some stomps and some kicks. Sydal tried to mount a comeback with a hurricanrana and a spin kick. He then went up top, but Christian landed a back elbow to put a stop to Sydal's offense. Sydal fought off a superplex attempt, hit a meteor, which looked beautiful for a 2 count. Sydal now with his own series of kicks. Christian ducked one of the kicks, but Sydal caught him with a lariat. He then hit a leg lariat, did Sydal, and a Bronco Buster in the corner to get another 2 count. Christian went back to a backbreaker, and this was a devastating one right over the knee. Sydal avoided a spear, hit a sunset flip for a 2. Sydal used a straitjacket submission hold, but Christian made it to the ropes. He then missed a frog splash, did Christian. Sydal missed a moonsault. Christian hit a spear, taking a page right out of Edge's book. Sydal blocked a kill switch attempt, and Christian got the knees up off of a shooting star attempt by Sydal. Then he went for the kill switch. Then he hit the kill switch, and he got the 1, 2, 3, and Christian Cage outworks Matt Sydal. After the match, Christian helped Sydal up because that's what baby faces do. Gave him a hug. Sydal gives him a bow. Taz was on commentary during this match, and he was talking some trash to both guys, including Christian. Christian invites him into the ring, but Ricky Starks comes out to the stage. Looking very suave, as always, is Ricky Starks. Now, Jesse, I got news on Ricky Starks. He hurt himself in that Adam Page match when they opened the show on Dynamite a couple weeks back, and it was definitely on a German suplex attempt that he tried to flip through, landed on his neck. I thought he almost killed himself. But there were also rumors about his knee in that match. Now, Ricky Starks is on the sidelines for 3 months, says Tony Khan, due to a fractured neck. It's not a complete injury where it's going to keep him out for over a year. Luckily, he will be only out for 3 months. However, he's not dealing with a knee injury, despite some of the rumors coming out this week. On Thursday, there were rumors that he may need knee surgery as AEW officials were checking on him, but they found out that he doesn't need knee surgery. Starks and Taz, who is obviously in the know better than anybody, took to Twitter, did Taz. Starks wrote, inaccurate about the knee. Nothing wrong with my knees. And Taz simply added on Twitter, not true. Brian Cage, who is a part of Team Taz, is slated to take on Adam Page as you guys know, at Double or Nothing. So Starks, Jesse, it looks like he is dodging a bullet. He had some of the remnants of that bullet hit his neck, but he'll be back right before the All Out show.
That's good, man. You don't want to see anybody that young and that talented get that serious of an injury, because it usually kind of spells out the rest of the career after that.
Yeah.
You know. But I hope everything is well. I hope they're not just fucking working us or blowing it off. I hope it is going well. I mean, neck injuries, especially when you're that young, and they're never good either way. But usually, if you get the wrong kind of neck injury that young, it kind of affects you for the rest of your in-ring career.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we don't want that. Ricky Starks is not one of my favorites right now, which I don't really understand why. I mean, the guy's a cocky prick. He can do it on the mic, and he's decent in the ring. It's not doing it for me. I don't know what I cannot begin to tell you what it is. It's missing something. Maybe it's Team Taz.
I was just going to say, man, I think it's him being included in Team Taz. I look at Ricky Starks and I see somebody who's just so young and is ready to break out when they move him away from Team Taz. I think, everybody was shitting on Miro for the gaming thing, and now Miro's finally starting to be the Miro that we wanted. I think when Ricky Starks breaks away from Team Taz, that's the same vibe we're going to get about Ricky Starks.
Yeah, I think it is, because as long as he's a part of Team Taz, he's never going to be number one. He's always going to be at the very least number two to Team Taz. He's going to be 3 or 4 depending on how they're booking Cage and Hobbs and everybody else. So, by himself might work. He can be his own man, have his own little crew, maybe. Something to kind of make him stand out a little bit, because he's not doing it for me as a lackey. I mean, it kind of feels like there's somebody. I mean, I hate making this comparison, but because people compare him to The Rock all the time, but it kind of reminds me of The Rock in the Nation while Farouk was the leader.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's not a bad comparison to make, and I'm sure others have already made that comparison.
Yeah. I mean, but the difference is, while Rock was in the Nation, under Farouk, it was great shit though.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Nation was great.
I don't care how you do it.
Yeah, the early inception of the Nation was great for WWE. I thought they were a powerful faction.
Yeah. It was really, really good stuff. So we'll see. We'll ride this out. Let's see how it goes with Team Taz. I'm interested to see how they break them up. He needs to stay heel, clearly. I don't think he will ever go babyface.
No.
And like I said, he has everything else. There's nothing he's missing. The mic, the look, the attitude, just the cockiness. He has it all. But for some reason, it's just not going anywhere for me.
So Starks, he actually did come out and he explained that he is his own man. He's going to be out front and center and not on the sidelines. Starks says Christian has some business to settle and calls out his guys from the tunnel. Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Hook, Taz's son, all jump in from the crowd and attack both Sydal and Christian. Page walks out with a cold beverage in his hand. He hands it to Ricky Starks. Adam Page gets in the ring. He starts attacking Hobbs and Cage. Brian Cage tosses him out to the apron. Page comes back in with the buckshot lariat, and Hook jumps in, chop blocks Page from behind. Brian Cage then takes advantage of this chop block by Hook and does a power bomb on Page, setting up their match and just building towards their match at Double or Nothing. I thought this was a fine attack. Match was good with Christian and Sydal. And then we got the post-match attack here, setting up the Cage and Page match, giving some spotlight to Ricky Starks, who is now injured. So all in all, a very good opening segment. I got no problems with it.
Yeah, loved it. I mean, it was the perfect way to open up the show. I mean, it hit all the marks. I mean, Mr. Cage himself, Mr. Outwork everyone. He didn't get outworked tonight. He held his own. Great job, great match, great after match segment. Liked everything about it. This show. I struggled to find anything wrong with the show. I could not find anything wrong tonight that I did not like.
Yeah, this was a great open to Dynamite tonight, and it set the tone for what I thought was a very good show overall. Jesse, moving on to the next part, and I know you could not wait to see her back on television. Julia Hart is with the Varsity Blondes. Now, this is no relation to the Hart family, but, ladies and gentlemen, I have breaking news. Jesse's newest female superstar crush is no longer Britt Baker. It is now Julia Hart. Right, Jesse? Is that the breaking news that I was supposed to let everybody know about tonight?
The only good thing about all of everybody can see that she is terrible, and it is not just me.
Whoa. Weren't you the one who said that my boy Lee Johnson is dating Julia Hart?
Sorry, Lee. She's terrible, brother. I don't know how she make it. How does she make it to fucking Wednesday night with a stable?
Oh, but yeah, she's in the Varsity Blondes, bro.
How did...
Listen, you got to give her time.
You know how many times I saw Chris Statlander tonight?
Yes, once.
I missed it.
You missed it? What were you doing?
I don't know, man. Maybe I was texting you or something. I have no idea.
Well, she confronted Kenny Omega. She already tweeted. She's like, I want a match with Omega or something along those lines. Book it.
I saw that tweet. That was awesome. Kenny's dodging her, dude. He won't fucking fight her.
I know. Well, anyway, Varsity Blondes cut a promo before tonight's big title match with the Young Bucks. And Brian Pillman Jr. says his dad wasn't the reason he got back into wrestling. It was the reason he stayed away. Pillman Jr. says the Bucks were good stand-up guys and were the reason that they are here tonight. Garrison recalls that he was running the merch tables for the Young Bucks just a couple of years ago. Fast forward to today, Matt and Nick Jackson are not the same guys that they used to be, and it's time that they get a reality check. Pillman Jr. says they won't stop until they reach their destiny as the AEW World Tag Team Champions. I honestly did not think there was going to be a title change tonight regardless, but I think that last statement is a solid one, Jesse. I do think when the time is right and when they are matured enough and they are, I guess, a little further down the line with this duo, I do see both of these guys, Garrison and Pillman Jr., as eventual AEW Tag Team Champions.
I mean, without a doubt. I mean, like I said to you, I was seriously thinking that we might see a hot shot title change tonight. And until you reminded me, and if they weren't already building to Moxley and Kingston with the surrounding hype about the dark side of the ring and Pillman Jr. and with Pillman's progress, I could have entirely seen a hot shot title change with the rematch at Double or Nothing with the Bucks getting the titles back.
Yeah.
But since they were already building to that feud, I mean, this was the right call. This is the right move. I mean, this was always the right move the way they did it tonight. But I mean, if there was ever one team to give a hot shot title run to, Varsity Blondes right away, easily number one on my list.
It's going to happen eventually, but not tonight and not before Double or Nothing, not especially with Moxley and Eddie Kingston looming, which was the next segment. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, always some of the most entertaining aspects of Dynamite. They talked backstage about making a dent in the tag team division, so there's the confirmation there that they'll be making their home in the tag team division for the foreseeable future. Make a dent in the tag team division after they put together a string of nice wins. Moxley x Kingston, if they are inviting them to a super kick party. Eddie Kingston was going on and on about, oh, listen, I don't do super kicks. Does that mean I am not invited to the party? You don't do super kicks. I don't do super kicks. What type of fucking party is this? Kingston responds that neither of them throw super kicks. Moxley says that they are just going to beat the brakes off of the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed, they had a backstage promo before tonight's show. They talked about Moxley and Kingston invading their space in the tag team division. Anthony Bowen says if Moxley and Kingston want a tag team title shot, they have to go through the Acclaim, but they are getting their asses dropped tonight. Speaking of the Acclaim, Jesse, I think it's pretty safe to say that Max Caster is over with the IWC. He was trending above pretty much everything on Dynamite for most of the evening because of his promo in the beginning of this match. Now, if you guys don't know, Max Caster comes out a la John Cena, the way he used to do, come out rapping and shooting disses at his opponents. But Max Caster is really coming along on his own, and he's developing a niche for himself that is becoming, to me, in my honest opinion, as far as what I watch, some of my favorite parts of the 2-hour show, and I know you think the same way, man. Eddie, why are you dressed like it's 04? You look like a box of Newports. And then he focuses his attack on Moxley. He says to Moxley about his wife, Renee, stop slipping into my DMs for some, some back and forth. And she's really hitting him up in the DMs for some oral sessions which is the name of Renee Paquette's podcast. I mean, it's so basic, but man, oh man, it popped everybody on social media, and that is a great thing to see. And I want you to explain to the people listening that, that's not really a line you should cross for Max Caster to say that about Jon Moxley and his wife, who are about to have a child together. How great is that Moxley gave him the okay there?
And that's what I was getting ready to say. The Acclaimed lost that match, and they are hot. They are one of the hottest teams in the whole company. So taking the L is huge for them. Taking it to Moxley and Kingston, there's no problem with that at all whatsoever. But Caster got over because Moxley allowed him to run this line tonight. And man, I don't want to say Caster's a made guy, but man, that guy, he is must fucking see television, dude. They had a match with Sonny Kiss a week or two ago, and a few of you guys slipped into my DMs and let me know what was going on, and I was interested in him just so I could see how he was going to tear him down in his entrance.
Oh, I watched that. Believe me, I thought it was great the way he tore Sonny Kiss down.
Yeah. Well, he went very, very, very light and easy on Sonny Kiss. He didn't do what we thought he was really gonna do, but he went hard on Moxley, dude. It was the kind of lines that that he would not have been out there and said without the permission of fucking Jonathan Good first.
Yeah.
So that alone, Moxley letting him do that line, and it added a little bit of fire to their fucking match seconds before it had to go on. That line alone gave this fight reason to be happening already, right away. It was such a good burn. It was so fucking out. The look on Moxley's face, he started. And the funny part was, Caster did the line, then immediately Moxley fucking killed Bowens.
Yeah. But Anthony Bowens was like, he looked at the crowd, he's like, "What? She just wants us on the podcast." And then Moxley's like, "Fuck this shit." He went to go do AEW, Anthony Bowens, and then Moxley just fucking leveled him. Match started after that. So that was a great open to this tag team match. The Acclaimed are so fucking awesome.
That was great stuff.
I can't wait to see more of them. Speaking of tag team champions, right there, Tony Khan. These are future tag team champions right there in the Acclaimed. So anyway, Moxley attacked Anthony Bowens at the bell after the oral sessions line by Max Caster. And Moxley and Kingston early traded tags. They continued to work over Max Caster, being that he was the one who dissed Moxley. Caster came back with a dragon screw off the middle rope, targeting Eddie Kingston's knee. This changed the entire complexion of the match. Kingston eventually was being beaten down, and he made a hot tag to Moxley. Moxley hit a German suplex, a pile driver on Max Caster, which I always say is a great thing to see on Dynamite because you don't really see pile drivers anymore in WWE. He choked Bowens out with a sleeper on the apron. Bowens popped back up and cut Moxley off when he went to the top rope to attempt a high-risk move. Caster hit a superplex. Bowens hit Moxley with the crossbody for a near fall, with Kingston making the save. Caster threw a chain to Bowens. So Caster threw his chain that he wears out to the ring to Anthony Bowens to try and weasel themselves a win here. The referee obviously saw it. He grabbed the chain. Caster went for the boombox shot on Kingston, but Moxley blocked and hit Caster with it. Kingston and Moxley hit a wheelbarrow into a paradigm shift, and Moxley pinned Anthony Bowens for the 1, 2, 3, and that was pretty much it. You're looking at your new tag team champions, in my opinion. I do think Kingston and Moxley beat the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing. Jesse, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's one of those that can go either way type deals because it's obvious to just put the titles on Moxley and Kingston. That is seriously a 50-50 toss. I could see either team winning. The Bucks have had it for a while. You want to keep up their run, that longevity, and who they've beaten. So if you want to have them beat these guys who are a new tag team, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. They just got on this tag team kick, so they can lose their first title match. Yep. At the same time, crowning them, why not? It's fucking John fucking Moxley and fucking Eddie Kingston, man. I mean, you can't go wrong in the outcome in that match. I mean, I just hope the winner wins clean without the Good Brothers getting in the way.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that. A thing about Max Caster I wanted to mention, because I see one or two people mentioning in the chat. Do you believe that this fucking guy was one of Bobby Lashley's sisters? They're in that horrendous fucking segment with him and Sami Zayn. One of the worst segments in the history of WWE was that segment. And I remember I put him on the fucking thumbnail for the goddamn podcast that I did that night. It was an embarrassment, and now look at him.
Yep, I remember. I remember when I found that out, man. I'm like, we gotta be fucking kidding me. And I went in and researched it, and yeah, and that's how they treat when you have talent in your possession and you treat them like this. That's the definition of WWE booking, man. I mean, how are they to know? I get it, but at the same time, dude, I mean, vet these people, give them tryouts, test, see. I mean, Caster didn't become a great fucking product long after that. That was probably within him well within that time frame. They just didn't want to give him the shot. They wanted him to be Lashley's fucking sister. And in the meantime, now he's over there, part of the number one tag team. You know, one of the top few tag teams in AEW. You just search and try to find the potential and the talent that you have, as opposed to just giving them these hokey fucking ideas that you have in your own head. Put them in the ring, give them a microphone, you know, backstage or whatever the fuck, PC, and just say, show me what you can do.
Yeah. Show
me your talent. And then let's write a character for you based on the talent that you show me right now. As opposed to, I get this Emelina gimmick. Let's give it to Frankie Monet. And, you know, come on, dude. Work with the talent and come up with good shit, because that guy is fucking talented and they let it slip right through their fucking fingers, man.
I wonder, you know, if I was to interview him and if we do come across him at the fan fest that we're going to for Double or Nothing, I would love to have 5 minutes of his time to ask him how far along in his pro wrestling journey was he at that time. And I wonder how long he had it in his head he wanted to do the gimmick that he's doing now. And if so, if he was given a WWE tryout and he presented what he is doing now on Dynamite to WWE officials, how can they not see that it's gold? To be honest with you, yeah. I mean, how could you bypass that for a brand like NXT that needs that fucking cool factor? Because they have nothing right now. I would love to ask him that question.
And think about this, man. Think about how if that gimmick, again, we don't know where this gimmick came from. It could have been a product of a producer or Tony Khan in AEW. Yeah, totally. Maybe he was just a vanilla wrestler when they had him in WWE. But what if this is his creative genius? What if they could have had him in WWE and then bring in John Cena to do a program with him?
Yeah, listen. I mean, now you're fantasy booking.
I mean, what the fuck? This guy is so fucking good. And if you get him on an interview, I don't think you're going to get those kind of answers from him, because the guy is like MJF, dude. He's a heel that never leaves character.
Yeah.
He never leaves. I've seen shoot interviews with him, and he's just a cocky prick. He does not leave character at all, ever.
Yeah, it's a great thing to say. Like I said before, he's easily becoming one of my personal favorite highlights of Dynamite when he's on. Just because of the unpredictability of what he's going to say. He knows how to captivate people's attentions. You know, he knows how to get the crowd to pop. And the one thing is, with fans coming back in attendance, Jesse, with someone like that and what he does and as talented as he is, the live crowds are going to go crazy for it. We haven't had the pleasure of that happen yet for them, and I think they're going to be incredibly over to a point where Tony Khan's going to look at it, and I think they're going to be pushed even further and quicker than they are now.
Yeah, he I can see him now coming out to different cities and shitting on each city in his fucking freestyle battles, dude. Each and every last single city he comes out to, just shit on him right away. This guy's got money written all over him, man.
And I see some people in the chat saying, holy shit, 3 years ago for the Bobby Lashley sisters thing. You know, it's not only as it pertains to Max Caster. I mean, look at Bobby Lashley now compared to fucking 3 years ago. What the fuck were they doing with him? Where's this Bobby Lashley been the entire time? You know, it goes both ways there, but that's just what WWE does. They're fucking clueless.
Well, TNA proved that WWE failed with Lashley because they made him a big star.
Yeah.
I mean, and then WWE brought him back and they made him trash.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until recently where somebody woke up and said, this guy can be a star if we just fucking work with him, man. And so lo and behold, they do. They have a star out of Lashley right now. I'm really happy that they finally found their stride for this guy, because if they continue down this path for the rest of his career, he can end his career on a high note when it's been so up and down for the most part, you know?
Yeah, totally agree. Tony Schiavone talking to another two of Jesse's favorites currently right now, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. These two are awesome, Jesse, don't you think?
Well, I just remembered the part I didn't like, man.
Oh, God. This was a great... Listen, we're going to break this thing down. This was a great promo. Ethan Page was a great promo in this segment. He talks about their recent attacks on Sting, does Shivani. Sky says that when he was a kid, Sting was the best and everything was good about pro wrestling because Sting was involved. He wanted to be just like Sting, but over time that feeling changed. Sky says Sting is not the same man he used to be. He wants Sting to step aside or he will put the old man down. Page tells Tony he can finish this interview and tells him to head out. Page then grabs the microphone and targets Darby Allen, and they target him going down the steps of Daly's Place just a couple of weeks ago. Then Allen lost the TNT title the week after. Page says he knows how much that title meant to Darby. It means the world to him. Page says he's there to take everything away from Allen. I will be the nail in your coffin, says Ethan Page. The lights go out, snow falls, Sting comes out, Tony does his, it's Sting! Allen in from behind with the skateboard, smacks both guys with it, both teams brawl. Sting takes the skateboard, cracks Sky in the stomach with it, and they're both brawling. Allen continues to swing away at Page. Sting with Scorpion deathlock on Sky, who then taps out. Obviously not an official match, but he taps out. Allen stays in Page's way so he can't get back in the ring. Page and Sky then look to leave, and then all of a sudden the Dark Order comes out to the stage and they block off the tunnels. So both guys run off to the side and escape all of this chaos in the ring. So it looks like, Jesse, we're getting Sting's first televised pay-per-view match that is non-cinematic for the first time since Seth Rollins buckle-bombed him at a WWE pay-per-view. So what do you think of this tag team match? Sting and Darby versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Sounds like to me Darby Allen's going to be doing the bulk of the work on Double or Nothing Sunday.
Well, look, I don't agree with that. Page and Sky will carry their own, and they will be fantastic because they know how to work. Well,
no, I mean,
Scorpio knows how to work.
Let me rephrase that. Not in the whole match, but Darby for his team will be doing the bulk of the work.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, man, this is. Do you still have those "Get Off My TV" T-shirts?
I have a couple, but I may
Scorpio Sky.
I may have to make a new line. Yes.
I mean, look, we've tried Scorpio Sky as babyface. We've tried him as a heel. This shit isn't working. What was the stipulation for Frankie and Christopher Daniels breaking up? Is it that they won't team together anymore?
Yes.
So we can put Frankie with Scorpio and team them together still?
Yes.
Let's try that. Because look, man, this is not working. This is not working for Page. He needs to, I don't know, was he in a tag team where he came from?
Listen, bro, I mentioned this to you several weeks ago. Ethan Page was with Josh Alexander, and they made up the team of the North in Impact. And let me tell you, when you see Josh Alexander work with Ethan Page, bro, I swear on everything I own, man. If you watch Ethan Page work with Josh Alexander and in this tag team, I guarantee you'd be like, I never want to see this guy solo again. And the same thing with Scorpio Sky. The whole thing, I think everybody had envisioned, he's going to be a big breakout singles guy. He's going to be what Ricochet should be for WWE, that big breakout youngster who's fucking athletic and he does the dives and the flips and he's all this great shit, and he's not amounted to anything. In fact, he should be sitting with Ricochet in fucking catering for all I care.
Okay, yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about the North. So that sounds like a fantastic idea. Well, how come he didn't come over?
Well, he was still with Impact. He's got another year on his Impact contract.
So were they a legitimate tag team? Why were they signed to broken contracts?
Ethan Page was. I don't think the North was a duo for a very long time. I think maybe a couple of years. I don't know what Ethan Page was doing beforehand, but he was not with Josh Alexander, and then they just paired them because I think it worked, or they did it at a one-time thing, and then it worked, and then they kept it. But yeah, they have two different contracts. Page's expired first, obviously, and then he's still over there on Impact.
Okay, I've heard nothing but great things about the North, so I'm highly interested in seeing some of their stuff. But these two together is an epic fail. Scorpio Sky with SCU, fantastic. I'm hearing great things about the North, so can't wait to see that. But these two, this is a bad pairing. Maybe, I don't know if it's just a pairing, because like I said, Scorpio was failing as a singles babyface, and now he's failing as a tag team heel. This is not working. And it's really not working when you have so many good, fluent, functioning tag teams. So you're really going to be at the bottom of that barrel. I don't want to see these guys beat any of the fucking tag teams in the AEW right now.
Well, let me. How would you book Scorpio Sky then? Like you want to put him back with Frankie Kazarian potentially, but don't you think that's a step backwards in a sea of tag teams right now that aren't even getting an opportunity?
I don't think it's a step back. I think it's killing two birds with one stone. I think we're avoiding the inevitable. What's Frankie Kazarian going to do as a single? You're going to find yourself cornered with him with nothing to do as well. Put him back with Scorpio Sky and they can mean something together and actually get something done. Because this shit is not working. Make them both heels or something. I don't know, but this is just not working. There's no. I don't see any just chemistry. I don't see any of it. I don't see it. I don't see any of that with this tag team. And the fact that he's not been doing well on his breakout run from after leaving SCU does not help in anything. I mean, it's just not. It seems like Drake can use his partner back with the North. This is not working out at all, man.
Yeah,
I mean, and there's nothing personal against the guys. I mean, I know Scorpio Sky
it's all
is
creative,
phenomenal, and I'm hearing nothing but great things about Ethan. So look, it's not working. Back to the drawing board, man. This is not a good pairing.
Yeah, it's all creative, and I don't know how I don't know how Scorpio Sky feels. I don't know how Ethan Page feels. If I was Ethan Page, I'd be feeling frustrated because he signs, a pretty big deal with AEW for 3 years, and it seems like
no plan.
No plan. When did he debut? He debuted in February, correct?
I think so. Right around
at Revolution. Yeah, he was in that ladder match, the Revolution, Face of the Revolution ladder match with Cody and Wardlow. Who the fuck was in that match? The Lucha Brothers. Yeah. He shows up then, and then all these months go by, and he's got no fucking creative. I would feel frustrated by that. Like, what are you guys doing with me?
No plans. All these fucking factions floating around. They could have put him in one of these factions that would have got him over a little bit better. And Scorpio, he needs to go back with Frankie Kazarian and do something. Because this is not working out with these two at all. I mean, I can, depending on how his character goes, I can see him somewhere around Inner Circle, Pinnacle. I mean, any one of these fucking factions going around right now, he might have been a fit in there. Who knows? But, I mean, I guess it's kind of in hindsight, who would have knew that this tag team wouldn't be working out? But this is definitely not working out. They can't just bail on it right away. I get it. They got to give it a chance. But it doesn't look good at all.
Well, who wins? Who, like, being that you're so creatively frustrated with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, do they even stand the chance at Double or Nothing against Sting and Darby Allen? Do you put them over? What happens here?
I wouldn't. I mean, they probably will go over because Darby did just drop his title. Sting is just Sting. So if you're going to try to move somebody up, I mean, Scorpio and Page are going to be in the tag division, so they should get the W, I guess. I mean, what are you going to do? Put Darby Allen and Sting in the tag division? I mean, no.
Yeah, it's very confusing with them. Like, I don't even know if they do go into Double or Nothing and beat a team with Sting as one of the tag team partners. I mean, it would be counterproductive as to why you brought Sting in anyway. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity. I don't see him losing, but in my eyes, you're going to bring someone like Sting in and have a team like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky get a victory over a tag team that includes Sting. I think that's a pretty big fucking deal. You want to build some new talent? There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, some other way. This team is not drawing any heat. If you want to get into specifics, they're not drawing any fucking heat. They can come in and do a match beat down. It's not drawing any fucking heat. Their promos at the end of it. What are you doing to prove that you're just fucking these obnoxious heels or just evil fucking villain? What are you doing? I mean, it's just, I'm not feeling it. I mean, sometimes it takes more than jumping into the ring and stomping down a few dudes. I mean, go make something happen that's impactful. I mean, Max Caster came out and insulted John Moxley's wife on national television. Yeah. That's a dick move.
Yeah.
That's a dick move. I mean, you just can't come out and beat somebody up and then say, I'm a heel now. What have you done? It's going nowhere. There's no heat to that team whatsoever.
Maybe we'll feel different after Double or Nothing. We'll see what happens with the tag team match with Darby and Sting. Maybe we'll change our minds, but until then, I do agree with Jesse. I don't think they've done anything creatively interesting with both Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky.
No.
We got the Pinnacle. They're at a nice restaurant. They're enjoying a nice meal. MJF is at the head of the table. He's no Roman Reigns, but he's at the head of the table.
You think that was intentional?
Of course it was intentional. It's MJF. He mocks Chris Jericho for being so funny with all his jokes and soaking them up with some bubbly. MJF says he hopes Jericho laughs himself silly about how great he is because for the first time in his career, he's dealing with the guy who also gets the last laugh. Dax Harwood then says he should be chasing the tag team titles with cash, not having to deal with the inner circle. That's not exactly what MJF wants to hear in this moment. He goes to get some more wine. The server brings it to him. Spears holds his glass up and waits. MJF then gets his filled up. Spears tells the server to come over and slams his head onto the table for having to wait too long for a refill of wine. He goes to hit him with the wine bottle, but Tully backs him down. Tully tosses the server some cash and says, that should take care of it. MJF finishes this promo with the signature, when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on the top. Sean Spears is coming into his own here, man. I like it. I like it.
And look, what did we just fucking talk about 2 minutes ago? What is Scorpio Sky doing? Sean Spears just fucking damn near killed the fucking waiter for no reason. I mean, simple, but he did something heelish and dickish outside of a fucking wrestling ring. I mean, the guy's a prick. And what did Tully do? Just flash some fucking money at this guy. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Take this money and go. I mean, that's interesting stuff. It starts to develop some kind of character or sympathy or reasons why you hate people. You can't get me to hate somebody just because you tell me to. You know, that doesn't work.
Well, I like the fact that he's coming into his own. This is the most comfortable we've seen him in, I guess, the entire duration he's been in AEW. It's about fucking time. Yeah, and this is the type of thing like you just talked about, put them in a group and have them develop some characters. This is exactly what MJF is doing with Dax and Cash, and now you got Wardlow's there. He's been great for the entire duration that he's been with MJF. But Sean Spears, this is the type of breakout for Sean Spears that he's been fucking dying for his whole career.
Yes, he's been very patient, and it's starting to pay off because again, you only have a 2-hour show and you have a lot of people. Everybody can't get off at one time. You know, everybody's got to wait their turn. And Spears, sat back and he waited, and then boom, he's in one of the top factions in the company, and now he's getting his time to shine. Be patient, work hard at it. You'll get on TV, and that's where Sean Spears. I'm really happy for him. I was a big fan of the Perfect 10. And when he got called up, I was marking out when he came out at that Royal Rumble entrance.
I know, it was just cool. You know, you got a gimmick of the Perfect 10. You come out in the Royal Rumble number 10. Fucking crowd in Texas, I believe it was, right? Crowd went fucking crazy. It was
fucking bonkers, man. I was at a sports bar watching that show, and since then, they've literally done absolutely nothing with them.
Nothing. It's funny you mentioned fucking Ty Dillinger, man. You know, I've said this when talking about him. You know, I'm glad he's finally finding success. I thought he was a very good hand in WWE. I thought he could have easily fit into the IC title picture on either Raw or SmackDown. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing with him. I'll go on record and say, if it was for a day, a week, 2 weeks max, Ty Dillinger should have been the NXT champion. As hot as he was, he should have been the NXT champion for at least a week.
Yeah, but there was a lot of factors. It was again, who was champion at this time? Was it Balor?
I don't know if it was Balor or Joe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it just wasn't his time with the champions that they had in the main event guys they had at the top at that time. So moving them on to the main roster was probably actually the best idea because I couldn't see him making it to the top of NXT with the guys they had in the main event picture. But a US title or IC title would have been right up his alley.
Yeah.
And absolutely. They did nothing. They did nothing with him.
I don't know, man. I could have come up with a slew of matches that would have been great for him in the main roster. Imagine a Dillinger versus a Ziggler, both guys at the top of their fucking game. Would have been great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But they Bobby Roode too. Bobby Roode was the champion, I think someone in the chat said. Yeah,
Roode, okay.
Yeah, if he was champion, it definitely wasn't his time. Nobody was going to beat Bobby Roode.
Yeah. No, not at that time. No.
But anyway, I love this segment. I don't know if I am, as far as my opinion goes, changed on the, I was going to say Canadian Stampede. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm thinking about the Hart Foundation and the goddamn In Your House show. The Stadium Stampede. I'm not sure if I'm with it yet. I don't know how much clowning around is going to be in this match. I hope that the two teams take it seriously. So I don't know how it's going to be filmed. Jericho supposedly is hurt. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But how are you feeling about this? You still think about what we talked about last week? Are you for the Stampede match or not?
No, I'm assuming this is going to be a pre-taped match. And even if it's not, it doesn't matter because it's going to be on the TV screens for us while we're there.
Yeah.
We're getting full capacity live crowd. Every last single wrestling move on that pay-per-view needs to be in front of the live people, period. We've had enough screen and pre-taped and cinematic shit. You now have a full crowd, and the first thing you want to do is make one of your matches. I mean, and a main event type match, a pre-recorded match.
Yeah.
What the fuck is? I mean, what were you trying to get back to live crowds for?
Now I got a question for you. Where does this match fit in on the show? Does it go last, or does it go before the AEW title match?
Fucking ask me. I didn't book this shit into a corner. I mean, where do you put? So if they put it, the last match should be the title match, right?
Yes, that's what I would think. I mean, it's Kenny Omega.
So are we gonna get like an intermission where we sit there and watch this match on the screen?
I think so.
Let's see how it plays out. We don't know. But already, if we have to look at a screen to watch one of the main event matches of the whole night, I wouldn't be the happiest. I wouldn't be happy about that.
No, I wouldn't be happy about that either, especially if I'm there.
Yeah, especially if I'm there. I mean, if you're at home, I guess it's the same to you either way. But you went through this year and suffered like every other company in the world did. And now your first major show back with full crowd, the first thing you want to do is show us something on a TV screen. Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, no, I don't, everything should be in that ring.
This is why I said last week, I would have taken easily over this Stampede match, a 5-on-5 Survivor Series-esque elimination match. Yeah. Easily.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know where they're going with this.
Anyway, we'll get back to the Pinnacle because Jericho came out a little bit later. But speaking of Double or Nothing, it looks like it's an inevitable for Dr. Brittany Baker, DMD. You know about the Doctor, Jesse, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
You know about the Doctor. You know about Hikaru Shida. It's happening at Double or Nothing. If it doesn't happen, listen, at the scrimmage, I may have to pick a bone with Tony if it doesn't happen at this point. But we got Shida and Rebel, not Reba. Rebel.
Not Reba. That's her name. Her name is actually Rebel, not Reba.
Yeah. Well,
that's her full name.
Yeah. Well, she was in a match with Shida tonight. Obviously, she's being used to soften up Hikaru Shida for Britt Baker. She was faking an injury, was Rebel, but Shida did not give a shit about this. Attacked her right at the bell. Rebel taunted for a little bit because she got a little offense on Shida. She taunted some more. She was dancing. She gets smacked in the face by Shida. Baker and Shida talk some trash as Baker's on the outside. So Shida puts on a black glove and she starts to imitate Britt Baker's finishing move, the lockjaw. So Shida tries for the lockjaw. Baker brings the title up to the apron, the Women's Championship. She took it off the announce desk. Referees distract. Rebel hits Shida in the back with the crutch. I don't know how. Shida didn't see this coming. She looked like a complete geek. Rebel with a release suplex. Goes for a cover. Only gets a 2 count. Shida ends the match. Hits a knee breaker. A stretch muffler. And Rebel taps out. Post-match, Baker jumps in the ring. She attacks Shida. She brings the title in the ring, and she beautifully curb stomps Shida right on the Women's Championship. Picks up the title, shows it off a little bit, shows you what's to come in the future, throws the title down on Shida. I thought this was great. My God, does Britt Baker carry herself 1,000 times better than what we first saw from her, man. It is going to be a great night when she wins that title. I'll tell you right now.
She's a fucking star. She's a star now.
Let me tell you something. Bay would be proud, bro.
Yeah. Let me look, dude. We have a better chance, and I'm not even bullshitting. We have a better chance of seeing Kenny Omega drop that title to Orange Cassidy than we have of seeing Shida walk out with that fucking women's title at Double or Nothing.
Listen, I agree with you.
It is not happening. They fight. If Britt Baker does not get that title, though, she's fucking buried.
Yeah.
They have to start all the way fucking over with her. And she has to get that title. And she is now prepared to lead that women's division into something a lot more respectable than it was a year ago from today.
I don't know what Thunder Rosa's contract's looking like, but whether she wins the championship or not from Britt Baker, which at this point I don't even think is a solid lock. If Britt Baker wins the championship, she comes right out of that match and has a ready-made feud with Thunder Rosa going into All Out. You have her beat Thunder Rosa and that feud, and then you build up Chris Statlander for full gear. That would give Britt Baker a decent enough title run, and then you could give Chris Statlander some momentum, get her back in the swing of things where it's really ready, and Britt Baker could have really great matches with both of those women, and you could really start building that women's division up. I think that's a solid road right there to go with.
You can get her back in the program with Thunder Rosa. My God, the options is, I mean, Chris Statlander is your money feud with Britt fucking Baker, man. That is your fight forever women's division feud right there. And you can, I love how they're keeping them apart and keeping them built and protected and looking strong. So when they come together, it will seriously be a fucking war of which one is going to win. So can't wait, cannot wait. I look at this shit. Can you believe that a year ago, from a year ago to now, man, the women's division in AEW was the fucking drizzling shits, man.
I know.
Look at it now. It's actually getting exciting. Going into Double or Nothing, it's finally getting exciting. Britt Baker winning that title is going to be the start of excitement.
And you know why? You know why it's exciting? Because it seems like they're taking their time with it. It seems like they're not overbooking. They're not over-stressing. They're putting women out there that need to be out there. They're not featuring 3 women's matches per night just for the simple fact of, hey, everybody's calling for more women's matches. Let's listen to these SJWs on social media. No, they're doing what they need to do, slowly but surely, little by little, featuring the people that they need to feature, building who they need to build, and it's going to come along. They're going to be at a point right now, if they continue on this road, where it may rival NXT. If they continue doing what they're doing, it's going to be a little bit, but they could be heading down that road.
Now here's something that you will probably agree with. They need more Joshi wrestling, though.
Who?
They went away from the Joshi wrestling, and they need more Joshis.
Yoshi, listen, bro. I'm a Luigi guy. The fuck you talking about? What are you talking about, Yoshi, man? You want me to be fucking eating and shitting out eggs while I collect coins? Well, what's going on? What are you talking about?
Unfortunately, that is one of the best things that's come out over the last year. They went away from the Joshi style wrestling. I mean, they literally stopped importing Japanese women in from other promotions and showing them on AEW television and telling us, this is what you're gonna like. And like, no, it's not. We don't like it.
Oh, no, you mean like Riho and Maka Ito, right? The one who thinks she's a fucking pop star and thank God she's back in Japan, man.
It was, I don't know if that was all Kenny. I don't know if Kenny is still involved here or what, man, but the women's division has done a 180 and is on the right path now.
Let me shut my mouth before some fucking internet geek starts calling me, JD hates Joshi wrestling. Does he realize that Joshi is just typically a female wrestler? I know, you fucking clowns. Just another Joshi. That's all it is. Don't get me started. See what you did? Joshi wrestling. Fuck we talking about? Why are you bringing up Joshi wrestling over here for, bro?
Fucking Joshi, man. That was the downfall.
Watch we go to the fucking fan fest and we see some fucking geek slob walk up to us. What's your problem with Joshi wrestling? Listen, talk to my manager, Hoot Media. They'll explain it all to you. I got a fucking drink to go buy.
Hoot Media can throw a mean right hook, man.
Listen, man, you don't want to fuck with Hoot Media, man. Hoot Media will kick you right between the balls. Right between the legs.
You might want to watch it.
Fuck out of here. Anyway, listen, I got some news on the women's division. Apparently, we got some news coming out. 2 pieces of news. Number 1, Tessa Blanchard, Jesse, was spotted training in the Nightmare Factory with Dustin Rhodes. Now, I mentioned this to you in the brief phone call that you and I had before I jumped on Twitch earlier this afternoon to play some Destiny and get ready for my raid on Saturday. But we got Tessa Blanchard in the Nightmare Factory. Now, you made a very good point, so I'll let you take the bulk of this, and I'll segue from this. No. Why exactly does and this is debatable. This is not a solid fact, but this is debatable. I think she's incredible at what she does. One of the greatest, if not the best, female professional wrestlers on this planet. Why does she need to go and train at the Nightmare Factory? She could train anywhere and fucking do what she needs to do, but she needs training at the Nightmare Factory? Yeah.
This kind of goes along with what I've been thinking about this whole Tessa Blanchard thing for a while. You know, I sent you an email about a week or so back about it was didn't show that we had a lot of contracted AEW superstars wrestling on, like so Brian Cage and I forget the rest of them, but it was the email that I got from that promotion, and on that list of performers for that show was Daga.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. Like, okay, why is he just thrown in here with all these AEW guys? I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I sent that to you because I thought that was kind of odd and telling. And then all of a sudden, now we're getting Tessa showing up at the Nightmare Factory for training with Dustin and everything else. Look, Tessa Blanchard does not need the Nightmare Factory for training. All right. I'm not going to sing her praises the way that you would, but by no means does she need any kind of training from the Nightmare Factory. So why did they do this? I think that AEW and Tony Khan are putting out feelers to kind of test the waters before they make any kind of announcement that they want to sign or have signed Tessa Blanchard. They want to get the reactions out there and kind of get a gauge on what the backlash would be. So you have Dustin post a picture with Tessa and everything else, and you kind of get a feel of. So now if they change their mind, they never committed to anything. And by reading these replies to these posts and everything else, they got a feel on how the reaction is going to be, how warm, how cold, if they should sign her, how they should book her when they sign her. Because if they wanted to just surprise us with a Tessa Blanchard surprise, why would they be posting pictures of her in the fucking Nightmare family? You know, these guys are, if nothing else, we know they can keep secrets and make surprises when they want to make them. We wouldn't be seeing Tessa Blanchard posting any pictures with Dustin Runnels if they were trying to keep her appearance a secret. Listen, but they don't know if they want to do it or not, so they have to test the waters first.
Dude, that was just one picture. If you go to her Instagram page, and I'm not insinuating it could just be just whatever. But, we're wrestling fans. We have the right to speak our minds and talk about things that are possible speculation or whatever's happening. But if you go to Tessa Blanchard's Instagram page and you go look at the third picture that's there on her page, she is photographed with Brian Cage. And she says this: "Thank you to everyone that came out this morning." This was 4 days ago. Came out this morning, and thank you to Great 8's Memorabilia for being such a blessing to work with. I enjoyed seeing some good friends, new and familiar faces, and having the time to catch up. If there's one thing I'm grateful for, it's the love from the fans and some of the lifelong friendships I've made through pro wrestling. I love you all. Brian Cage posted this same picture on his Instagram page, saying that Tessa Blanchard was one of the best friends that he had in this business. Now, if you go look at the Tessa Blanchard picture, the first comment, Jesse, is from Cody Rhodes. And he says, OMG, it's Flip Gordon.
Yeah.
Because Flip Gordon, I believe, was, I guess this guy looks like Flip Gordon, the memorabilia guy. But the fact that Tessa posted that with Brian Cage, who's an AEW superstar, the fact that she's training at the Nightmare Factory, she should be actually teaching the fucking Nightmare family with how good she is. And then Cody Rhodes, the first fucking comment that you see on her picture. I mean, does she show up at Double or Nothing or not? I think so. I think she's the big surprise. And Tony Khan is taking it easy because of his fucking blunder with Christian Cage. He ain't saying a fucking word now about anything. She's just going to show up.
Yeah. If he was smart, he would just do it. But, the thing about it, here's my thoughts on the Tessa Blanchard situation. Two different thoughts on it. Does she deserve another chance to go out there and prove herself? Absolutely. Now, is she going to get it? I don't know. Would I personally like it? No. That's just me. But let me tell you the opinions that matter, though. Tony Khan and Tessa Blanchard needs to sit down and have a talk with every female on the AEW roster, because those are the only opinions that matter in this situation. So if they want to work with her, agree to work with her, have no problem working with her, then we need to be sitting here and forgiving Tessa Blanchard, because they have all collectively decided that they want to work with her. So if they don't, then they don't. Then she doesn't work there. But unfortunately, it's not the fans' call. I mean, yes, it's us that have to buy the tickets and buy the merchandise, and eventually we'll have to be the ones that are going to accept her. But they can work on that if the talent in the locker room is willing to work with her. I don't want to see Tessa come in if it's going to upset the talent that's been there from day one and trying to work to get themselves over. But this high profile wrestler comes in with this bad background and puts a shadow over it. I don't want to see it that way. But if they can all harmonize and continue to grow, because there's a thing, the women's division is currently growing. If she comes in and causes bullshit, nobody wants that. Nobody. So the women have to all be in agreement to get her over and to put her over and everything else. If they can do that, let's see what she can do. Let's see what she can bring to the company, man.
What about this idea? With Britt Baker winning the championship from Shida on Double or Nothing Sunday, I would not, and I mean this, I would not introduce Tessa Blanchard in that moment. You leave that for Britt Baker and you let her shine in that moment. That is her moment. You don't put anybody outside or from the company now or bringing in somebody to challenge Britt to show up in that moment. You don't take that woman's spotlight away from her, number one. Number two, the Battle Royal, the Double or Nothing Battle Royal, the Casino Battle Royale, they always have this wild card. Tessa Blanchard is known for wrestling the men. I mean, she wrestled one of the fucking most dangerous men in this business in Sami Callihan, crazy son of a bitch. I love him. And they had a series of great matches. What if she shows up for the Double or Nothing Battle Royal and shows up as that wild card and is in that Battle Royal, and that's the way you introduce her?
Well, you made a good point. If Tessa Blanchard shows up anywhere on the Double or Nothing card, anywhere, on the same night that Britt Baker won her first women's title, what's going to be the headline of that pay-per-view?
Tessa Blanchard shows up.
Which is not fair to Britt Baker.
No.
So I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's why you don't have her do. You don't have her brought in having anything to do with the women. You bring her in and have her do something with the men right off the top.
I don't care if she comes out on the fucking pre-show. She's gonna overshadow anything Britt Baker does on that show. Bring her in the night after. Bring her in on the Dynamite
that's not
after.
fair. You could bring in anybody. They're gonna overshadow Britt Baker if they're a major name.
No, not if she's in the women's division. If she can come into the men's battle royal win, it doesn't matter. She is still gonna be a top female entering the fucking company when Britt Baker just won that title. It don't matter where you show her up at. If she shows up anywhere on that show, Tessa's gonna be the talk of the town, and as far as the women go, and not Britt Baker.
Yeah,
save her. Bring her in for the next Dynamite after.
Well, Tony wants to give people their money's worth. For a first show back with fans in that capacity, in that venue, man, I just have a feeling she's showing up regardless.
But that's the thing, though. So if he wants to give the fans what they want and he wants to surprise us, what if he pops her out and then she comes out to a swarm of boos? And people shitting on it and the backlash that he was worried about.
Well, they're going to have to get used to it. You can't cater to these fucking people.
They pay the bills.
Well, you got to live with it. What do you want? What do you want? A free agent, a businessman to let one of the biggest free agents in the business go? He's already lost Jordan Grace.
Pick your spots.
He's already lost Jordan Grace. He's losing B Priestley. She's going to NXT UK. How many more women free agents are out there?
Dude, that was a big miss. He should not have let Jordan Grace go. He should not. I don't know what their situation was. Maybe she didn't even want to go. I don't know. I'll be surprised because I know her and Brian Cage are good friends.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she wouldn't want to join. Maybe the money wasn't there. Who knows? But picking her up would have been a phenomenal grab for that division. With Tessa, dude, look, you can get cheers or you can get boos. It is seriously a 50-50 coin toss on what the reaction is going to be when she shows up live.
Listen, we'll find out. We may be there, we may not be there, depending on the situation with us getting tickets or not. But I think it's going to be a situation where that's where she shows up. There's no other big name. There's no other big name. They need a big name for this show.
It could be. If they can't keep living up to that. So sooner or later they got to break a pay-per-view out where no big name shows up. They can't do it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure for the people asking in the chat. I'm not sure if Jordynne Grace resigned or not. All I know is that I remember a tweet last week from Sean Ross Sapp saying that Jordynne Grace had resigned with Impact Wrestling. He didn't say for how much. He didn't say for how much.
I thought she did. You guys said she resigned.
But that's what he said. That's where I got it from.
Yeah, I'm guessing she did. I mean, man, that would have been a nice pickup right there, man.
Well, anyway, moving on from the ladies division, we got Kenny Omega and Don Callis. They want to talk to Orange Cassidy. This was obviously taped last week, and we got Orange Cassidy in the training room. They asked the best friends, Don and Kenny, and Chris Statlander to head out. So the two talked to Cassidy about him getting knocked out in his match against Pac. Omega says they care about Cassidy and they need him to be the mascot for AEW, but not really a main eventer. Omega says he's speaking as an EVP and wants to protect him. Callis says they have a simple legal document that they are going to present to him, and he's injured and he can't work the match at Double or Nothing. But listen, we want you to be healthy. Don't wrestle at Double or Nothing. We'll get you a future title match if you sign this contract. Cassidy takes the contract, rips it up slowly. He's going to rip it up again. And Don Callis says, all right, I get the point. He didn't even read it, says Omega. Omega then tries to talk to him, performer to performer, says he could injure him. He could end his career, or worse yet, he could kill him, end his life in the ring if he wanted to. It would be terrible if any of that happened. So Callis pulls out another contract and tells him to hold it up and think things over, read it, and they leave him with that contract. They remind him, listen, you got a bright future ahead of yourself. Think about it. So clearly they don't want to wrestle two guys in one night and have Kenny defend that championship against Pac and Orange Cassidy at the same time because theoretically, mathematically, it lessens Omega's chances of winning. I get that. But I thought this was great, and I have two things to say about this. Number one, I think Orange Cassidy and Pac with Omega does make it a main event match. I get people's understanding about Orange Cassidy and Omega one-on-one. Pac being in the match obviously makes it better. It makes it a main event match. But I do feel, Jesse, and let me know how you feel about this, even on paper, it seems like it's not a Double or Nothing type of a main event match for AEW. Now, with them having fans at full capacity at Daly's Place, they must have knew this beforehand when they were planning this show, but I do think this is the last of their kind of in-between plans. I feel like at the end of the day, this is just something for them to do and get by, and then at All Out, that's when I start to see, or I think we see the Forbidden Door really kind of blowing off, and I think that's when we'll get their real plans about what they want to do with Omega.
Yeah, there's no way that Pac or Orange is going to win this match. I mean, but again, they got a better shot at winning than fucking Hikaru Shida does. So, but I think, again, no reports on this. I think that they're waiting for everything to fully open up so that the travel restrictions are less in place and they can use the Forbidden Door a little bit more. Because it's got to be an issue bringing in and visas and everything else, bringing in guys from New Japan and everything else. So that being said, I think as we get into the summer and things are opening up more, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of the Forbidden Door things that they planned on doing originally, but had to hold off on and wait for it. Live crowds, travel restrictions, all of the above. But yeah, this is a filler. I don't think this is meant to carry on any story or for us to think that Kenny's going to lose a title. It's purely in place to show us a phenomenal triple threat match, for the title. And that's just what it's going to be. It's going to be a phenomenal triple threat match.
Now, as far as the triple threat match goes, Kenny Omega obviously has Don Callis in his corner. Don Callis is an executive at Impact Wrestling. He's the brains behind Impact Wrestling. He's labeled himself the Invisible Hand, but if you guys watch Impact, it may be in the cards for Impact to be removed as executive of Impact Wrestling. Scott D'Amore did tease this on a recent episode on their Access TV show. Meltzer said he asked around but didn't receive an answer. Hopefully there will be more news regarding this situation. Meltzer said that he was told by a few people with Impact Wrestling or within Impact Wrestling that it is expected, Jesse, for Don Callis to leave the company. The expectation is for him to join AEW full-time as Kenny Omega's manager. Meltzer says this, and many people within Impact have kind of been hinting to me that they figure that Don Callis is going to end up as a full-timer in AEW as Omega's manager. That does make sense. End quote. So Callis teamed up with Kenny Omega, and the two have become a great heel pairing. I think they complement each other very well, and that's just based off the fact that Don Callis is a great character. He gets it. And the fact that they've been lifelong friends, and Omega right now, especially in the United States, is at the height of his AEW run. They've also hinted that with AEW Impact and AAA, Omega is chasing all the gold, and the belt collector is starting to become a thing. So Callis is going to be a big part of that. What do you think about Don Callis joining AEW full-time? I mean, to me, it almost seems as if, there may be a conflict of interest there, that he's no longer with Impact, or maybe just AEW is paying him more and wants his services and realize how valuable he is.
Well, that could be a couple of different things. Maybe, like you just said, maybe they're taking Callis' contract off of Impact's hands and absorbing it so they don't have to pay that out anymore.
Yeah.
And he's still there for the Forbidden Door. But my question is, what is he going to be doing? I mean, as far as full time, I mean, you're not going to bring in a guy like Don Callis just to be Kenny's manager and nothing else. I mean, is he going to be doing anything else? Is he going to be a part of the production or anything like that?
I'm assuming he's probably got a hand in a lot of things. If that's the case, I mean, if you wanted him to be, he could be a commentator. He's great at color commentary. He could be a producer. He could be creative. That's what he's doing right now for Impact. So I don't see why he wouldn't be doing that to help Tony in AEW as well.
But that's what I mean. That's what I'm wondering what else he'll do. Because I don't think it'll just be purely just talent, just on-screen talent. I mean, he brings so much more to the table. So it's not going to matter either way, but I'm wondering what else he'll do backstage if he comes over full-time to AEW,
I don't know. 69 me, Don. Maybe they're taking it literally. I don't know.
69 me, he's good.
I don't know. Good. He must be doing something right.
Yeah, he's good, man. I'm wondering how his rapport and respect level is, in the back with the boys and everything else. I mean, is it a good working thing, or is it that, oh crap, this scuzzy fucking Callis is here again? I wonder how that dynamic is going. If he's going to be over here full time now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Who knows? We'll never know.
We'll never know. We'll see.
The Inner Circle. We do know about Inner Circle and Pinnacle at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. They were in the ring. Jericho does his spiel. Judas playing out. Crowd singing along. Ortiz gets on the microphone. Santana, I believe, is still in jail at this point for attacking. Still in jail for attacking MJF with a fucking fork. Ortiz is on the microphone. He says, plain and simple, I want to fight. Sammy Guevara agrees that this battle will never end between the two groups. He calls the Pinnacle a bunch of clowns, and everybody already knows his answer for the match. Jake Hager says he doesn't have a choice because they have said since the beginning that they are the baddest. If they don't accept, then they're just like the Pinnacle, a bunch of cowards. Jericho takes over on this promo, says that ultimately, from what he heard, it's loud and clear. If they accept the challenge, they also have to accept the possibility of breaking up for good if they lose. Jericho says he wonders if it's worth it. He wonders if Blood and Guts was worth it. They gave up pieces of themselves, flesh, blood, and they won't get any of that back. Jericho says he's banged up. His elbow is dislocated. It will heal, but won't heal as MJF throwing him off the top of the cage. Jericho says it felt like it was for hours, and his head nearly hit the back of the stage, and that could have been the end of Jericho. Was it worth it? Jericho says it is because MJF has given him the fire and inspiration to come back and beat their asses. The group says yes to the challenge. Jericho notes that Santana will be back next week. Hell is coming for you, Pinnacle, and we will piss on your graves, he says. Now, I thought this was a fine promo. Really nothing new to report. I mean, it's Chris Jericho. He cut a fiery promo. It's always great when Jericho is in that mode. But as far as Jericho, Jesse, with him being injured, apparently he's wearing the brace on his arm because he's hurt. And I got news on Jericho's injury status. It turns out that the injury is legitimate, says Dave Meltzer from The Fall. Meltzer reported in the latest edition of Wrestling Observer newsletter that Jericho suffered a dislocated elbow on the fall off the Blood and Guts cage. Meltzer added, I presume he's working Stadium Stampede based on the television angle, but otherwise he'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. I think, Jesse, in my honest opinion, it's 4 to 6 weeks of Chris Jericho playing kayfabe, and he is not really hurt, and he's working the fence.
Probably. That was my initial thought too, because everybody said that it was a soft landing and this and that, and what better way to come out? Yeah, it was soft. I got hurt for real. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Stop fucking playing. I think I saw the My Pillow guy laying under that fucking thing, man.
Jesus Christ. Listen, man, AEW should be sponsored by fucking Casper Mattress, Purple Mattress, Perfect Sleeper, the fucking Sleep Number. I mean, geez, they got a fucking whole list of people they could be sponsored by.
Yep. Here's a hot take. I have not even texted you this yet or mentioned it at all. But I mean, I might have to, put the heel hat on here. But I'm getting tired of Inner Circle versus Pinnacle already. And I think I know why. They didn't give this shit time to breathe. As soon as we got there's a big War Games blow off, right away the next day, they're booking the next match. There was no absence by Jericho. There was no selling of the, what I'm saying? Just let it breathe. Stretch it out a little bit. We just saw one, big blow off, and now we're going into the second blow off. What are we trying to accomplish here?
Well, this is a follow up to your opinion there. Who wins the match? Does the Inner Circle break up, or does the Pinnacle win this match and goodbye Inner Circle?
Look, we've been fantasy booking it for weeks that they were gonna disband Inner Circle for a while. Jericho was gonna go tour with Fozzy. Everybody I think they just should have just fucking did that out of blood and guts.
Yep, me too.
Just disband them. I mean, don't make a real fucking grandstand issue of it. Jericho could take his time off. They can address it here or there lightly, but just let it go. Not saying I don't ever want to see them fight again, but when you bring it back, it's fresh. It's fresh, and yeah, I want to see it again. They showed us this shit, and then the very next night, booked the next one. Dude, let it fucking breathe. I mean, it was awesome. You don't need to see it every other month.
Yeah, well,
it's too fast.
This is what happens.
It's too much.
This is what happens when you start the feud really inside a match like Blood and Guts. The same thing happened with Sasha Banks and Bayley. They started their first fucking match off in Hell in a Cell. You can't have a feud if that's your first fucking match. That's why people lose interest. Because that match is a blow-off match, just like the Blood and Guts was a blow-off match.
Yeah. That could have been, that should have been a one and done, at least a one and done for a while, and then they can come back to it later because it's only been a second match. But now, and now they try to add the step in it and make it more interesting. Well, we'll break up if we lose. Like, well, we should have fucking did that anyway. But okay, so what if they win? Then what? They don't break up, but what happens to Inner Circle? I mean, there's no balance of stipulations in this. Just something only happens if this team loses.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. It's the same thing I was thinking about as soon as you mentioned it. And nothing's at stake. So superiority in AEW. But what happens when they rid AEW of the Inner Circle? What happens then? Who are they going after next?
And that's another thing. Are they booking themselves into another corner?
Sounds like to me, unless MJF is going right for the world title, I don't see how any of this makes sense.
Yeah, we already have Cody who can't challenge for the world title anymore. So now you're breaking up Inner Circle based on a match. So now bringing them back together is gonna fucking destroy all of that. You could have just broken them up, and then brought them back together with no stipulation that broke them up. Now you break them up and bring them back. I was like, wait a minute, you just said that they couldn't come. You know what I'm saying? They had to break up. What are you gonna do? Well, we said they had to break up. We didn't say they couldn't come back together later. No, just do it. Just fucking break them up. Put fucking Sammy somewhere in the fucking TNT title picture. Proud and Powerful tag division. Hager can fucking survive on his own. He'll be good out there. I mean, just break him up and go. Yeah. But this is too much. This is because now they got to live by this shit. Same way Cody can't challenge for a title, Inner Circle can't come back together now. Because they're going to lose. They didn't just make Pinnacle to just have them lose right away. The Pinnacle's going to win. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. It could go either way, but I feel the same way as you. It definitely feels like it's going backwards instead of going forwards. Mm-hmm. Well, with we got Jade Cargill, Tony and Jade Cargill in the back. We got Jade Cargill saying that she hasn't made any decision about who she wants to work for. Cargill says she's not working for anybody. Mark Sterling, this is the geek that was MJF's lawyer when he was feuding with Jon Moxley. He showed up, and again, he says he doesn't want to have himself in a position where he is,
advising Cargill and she's working for him. He says he wants to work for her. So Cargill didn't appreciate him showing up, interviewing or interrupting the interview here, and tells him to get out of here, exit stage left. Maybe I'll think about your offer. So they're really pushing this thing on a weekly basis. And she has an open challenge next week. I wonder who's going to come out and, accept this open challenge for Jade Cargill next week on Dynamite.
Who's going to come out and get their ass kicked, you mean?
Yeah, probably a nobody.
Probably nobody.
Yeah. But
who can come out, accept it, and take a L? Probably Big Swole.
Big Swole, Nyla, maybe.
No. You cannot. No, she cannot lose to. Not yet. She cannot lose to Cargill right now. No, that's a big win for Cargill. Not yet for that. No.
Yeah. All right. We'll see.
But yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
we'll see. Jade Cargill, they're taking their time. No need to rush. Yeah. Serena Deeb versus Red Velvet. This was for the NWA Women's Championship. This was a very good match. Probably one of the best things on the entire show. I really appreciate it. I even tweeted out. I love the way Red Velvet is coming along, Jesse. I think she has the potential to be a big thing in the AEW Women's Division. She almost reminds me of, obviously not at that level, but she is in the beginning stages of maybe being AEW Sasha Banks. I think she carries herself well. I think she is intense. I think and I mentioned this word on social media when I tweeted about her. I think she's fearless. The reason why I like her so much is because she goes in there and she wrestles. She throws herself around. She doesn't, take a step back and say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna break a nail," or "I'm gonna do this." And she goes in there and she fucks shit up, and I love that. Yeah,
I am one of the bigger advocates for Red Velvet. Back in her dark premiere days, her debuts and everything else, and how she developed and everything else. So now I'm gonna pick her apart a little bit because I want to see her get even better. She needs a little bit more charisma.
Yeah.
She needs a little bit more. So when you say she's like Sasha, no, she has nowhere near Sasha's charisma.
She's trying to play up the fact. She's trying to swivel her hips, and she's trying to look pretty for the camera. She's got that working for her. But nobody's gonna be Sasha Banks. Let's be real.
Yeah. She's got to nail down her gimmick. And again, this is all in the vein of I want to see her improve. So in the ring, she's doing it. She's bringing intensity to her matches. Like you said, she doesn't fluff it. Mm-hmm. She goes and works her fucking matches and takes her bumps. And I just want to see her show a little bit more mic skill, charisma, a little bit more character. And I think her package is complete. She's going to be a phenomenal piece of the women's division. I cannot wait to see her get even bigger than what she is.
And I don't want to take anything away from Serena Deeb either. She wrestles like I'm watching fucking Mr. Perfect or Bret Hart back in the day. She's just a technically sound veteran. Right. She's very good.
Isn't she just easy? It's like she evolved from her NXT days.
Yeah.
And she does not look the same as she did when she was in the Mae Young Classic and shit like that. She definitely leveled up a little bit.
Yeah, no. In the Mae Young Classic, they built this comeback story around her like she was getting back on a fucking bicycle and they had the training wheels on her. Like they didn't let her go all the way like she knew she could. They held her back for the Mae Young Classic to tell that story. Now this is her just like you said on a different level completely.
Yeah. She's coming. She's definitely coming into her own. She kind of reminds me of the progress of Chris Statlander.
Yep.
Like when Chris Statlander started, she was good. We've always said Chris was good. Like she's good. She's really good. And then when she came back from her injury, she continued to be good, but her confidence was just through the fucking roof. She was just out there like, I know what I'm doing. I'm better than you, and I'm just gonna fucking outwork you. And she's so fucking good right now, even better than she was before she went out.
Yeah. Deeb started this match very aggressive with some forearms. Velvet came back, went right after Deeb's arm. Deeb hit an uppercut, dragon screw in the corner. She was in control. Velvet started to make a comeback, double knees to the back, and a standing moonsault for a 2. Velvet tossed Deeb to the floor. Hit a moonsault off the apron. Velvet back inside, went for a kick, got the kick to connect near fall. They traded near falls after a missed high kick from Velvet. Velvet sitting down on a sunset flip attempt by Deeb. Velvet went for a moonsault off the top. Deeb got her knees up, She then hit a powerbomb to Deeb with a stack cover for a near fall. Then Deeb transitioned into a half crab. Velvet reversed to an inside cradle. Deeb hit a chop block to Velvet's left leg. Serenity lock, and that was it. Velvet tapped out. Very good match. I enjoyed the work of both men. Red Velvet is still coming along. This wasn't a completely smooth ride for her. There was a minor misstep, a minor botch here and there, but listen, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and she's going to definitely be a keeper in that division. I want to see more of her for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm almost really happy they pulled her away from the Cody and Brandy situation and all of that drama. I kind of want to see her kind of go out there on her own a little bit more, rather than caught up in a tag team with Brandy and the stuff like that. So I'm really happy that Brandy get knocked up.
Yep, me too.
So yeah.
Anyway, moving on here. Alex Marvez interviewed Pac. This was short and sweet. Pac, he's not happy at all. When is he ever happy? He's not happy about missing out on opportunities. Pac says he has this match, and there's nothing that the Elite can do about it. And he asked Marvez, what fool would bet against him at Double or Nothing? I'm not betting against Pac, man, on any given night. I think Pac is somebody that deserves a lot more than what he's got now. So we'll see. It's going to be a great match with him involved. I'm glad he's there.
Yeah.
Austin Gunn. Get your microscope out, bro. Austin Gunn with Cody Rhodes and Arn Anderson versus his new name, until I see more of him at Double or Nothing, which I hope is the case. Anthony Ogogo is his new name with the Factory. Now, Jesse, I was telling you last week that this was going to be a very heavily dissected segment of the night. And you told me that I didn't need any microscope to dissect anything. I think we'll have a fucking clear indication about what's going on as soon as the bell rings here. And you were correct. This match lasted about 3 minutes, and Anthony Ogogo did nothing but midsection boxing punches to Austin Gunn's midsection, and he was bleeding from the mouth, and this was a referee stoppage. The referee stopped and gave the match to Anthony Ogogo.
I will be going to the concession stand during this Cody match, man.
I don't know what their plans are here, but the fact that Cody Rhodes is on Double or Nothing in this match just kind of proves that Jesse and I are correct about Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. And given the fact that Cody Rhodes has this match here at Double or Nothing, the fact that he is just there for the simple reason of just being there, because he can't really sit back and just let a show happen without him, is my case. What is the reason for this? And I swear to God, AEW better know something that we don't fucking know, unless this guy Jesse wrestles like fucking Mr. Perfect. I don't understand why this match is happening. It even is more so apparent that this is not even a fucking buy-in match. This is not even a dark match. It shouldn't even be happening. It shouldn't be happening. I don't know if he's going to just break himself out on Sunday, but this was the one opportunity to buy people on you, or sell people on you, I should say. And, bro, listen, I'm going to the pawn shop already, and I'm talking to Rick. Give me a low ball offer. I'll sell it to you. Rick and Chumley over in the fucking pawn shop.
Yeah, he's done. He's good. You know what he reminds me of? Watching him fight reminds me of fighting somebody on Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
It's like what we mentioned last week, Balrog. That's exactly who he is.
And their button is fucking stuck on the controller. Like their button is stuck and they only do one move. The guy does he has a smaller skill set than Big Show.
Listen, man, someone in the chat said, watch him come out and wrestle like Mr. Perfect. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope so. Put it like this. Even if he does, I'll be happy to be wrong, but at the same time, still not wrong, because they should have showed this shit before the fucking pay-per-view.
I don't know. They finally made mention that he's 77% to 78% blind in one eye. Thanks for telling us that now, Excalibur. I'd love to hear that from Cody.
Yeah.
Or him. Did Anthony Ogogo mention that? Has Anthony Ogogo mentioned that he's blind?
It's. I had a lot of.
Bro, he didn't throw one wrestling move in this match, man. He didn't do not even a fucking kick.
No, nothing. Not a single wrestling move. He picked him up. I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna see a wrestling move.
He got Irish whipped.
He dropped him and he punched him.
Does he look like a guy that should be on pay-per-view? No.
Well, I'll take that back. He looks like a guy.
Does he sound like one? Yes, he cuts a great promo.
He looks the part. The guy has a phenomenal look to him. This guy is trash, man. Fucking trash.
Oh, man.
I mean, maybe they took him out of the oven too soon. I don't know. But if you take a cake out of the oven too soon, it's trash. Okay? You can't tell me if you would have kept it in longer, it'd be great. You didn't, so now it's fucking trash.
He's 78% blind in one eye. We may be blind after watching this fucking match on Sunday.
He's 78% inept in the ring.
Post-match, Cody is there. He gets in the ring, checks on his guy, Gunn. Ogogo grabs the American flag that Cody brought in, tosses it in the air. Very disrespectful. Cody grabs it. All the referees come out. We get these two guys separated. Now we got, Jesse, next week, a weigh-in between Cody and Anthony Ogogo. A weigh-in, bro.
Why?
Why do we have a weigh-in? It's a fucking wrestling match.
Because Cody has to make everything he's in a bigger deal than what it really is. Again, man, I started this whole Cody trip off with, hey, love Cody, much respect, but this. Now I'm on to, look, Cody just has to fucking go, man. He has to go. I mean, if he wants to interject himself into things, at least make them interesting. They're not. It's not even interesting at this point.
There's no title on the line. This is a match between teacher and student, I assume, and we got a fucking weigh-in.
A weigh-in.
Who gives a shit how much Anthony Ogogo weighs in comparison to Cody Rhodes? What I want to know is what type of fucking wrestling moveset he's got.
None. He has one move.
This guy seems like a fucking creative character in WWE 2K where you just fucking put him through the creative suite and you give him no moveset. Yep. What you get is what you get. A punch. That's it. He's got a 67 rating and you put him through career mode and you're being beat by fucking Baron Blade, who's got a fucking 58 rating. It's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah. Not interested at all. I watch BDE and looking for what I'm looking for, and absolutely zero mention of the internal beef in the company right now. Zero. None. Not even a slight one.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if that was either A, bullshit, or B, set up to go out to the dirt sheets intentionally by the Elite because maybe they're teasing a future storyline.
Could be. I mean, that's a possibility, but maybe it could be also real. Cody was on Sammy's vlog again, though. He has time for Sammy's vlog, but no time for BTE, and absolutely zero mention of this feud.
Well, maybe they're probably doing it on purpose. Now it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyway, Cody and Ogogo next week weigh in. I mean, who gives a shit? Does Ogogo win? Who knows? No, for all we know, Cody's going to give himself a nice fucking early push-out gift for himself before Brandy has the fucking kids, you know?
Push-out gift.
Whatever.
At this point, it makes sense for Cody to win because this guy can't work, man. Who is he in the ring with? This guy can't. They got Tessa fucking Blanchard, the Nightmare Factory, and Anthony Ogogo at a pay-per-view match with Cody. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. Whatever. This guy, I swear to God, man, this guy better fucking pray to the gospel of Bret Hart come Double or Nothing. I want to see fucking wrestling moves. I want to see a fucking hip toss, a head. I'll even take a fucking Randy Orton chin lock at this point. Please. Yeah. Something. A hair pull, an eye gouge, something, man. You got to give me something.
Yeah, anyway, dude.
Moving on here before it gets too late. Marvez talked to Daniels and Kazarian after they had to disband. Marvez asked Daniels about his cryptic tweet saying he might be done in the ring. Daniels doesn't say anything but shakes Kazarian's hand, says something to him in private in his ear. Nobody could hear him. Kazarian says he doesn't have enough time to talk about how much Daniels means to him, but Daniels may or may not be done. And Kazarian is still moving forward. He lost something last week. He is going to hunt down every member of the Elite for what they did to him. So Kazarian going solo, and he's going to be headhunted for the Elite. Sounds thrilling, Jesse.
Super.
Sounds super thrilling.
Put him back with Scorpio Sky.
Miro. I'll tell you what sounds thrilling, man. Miro cutting a promo. Sounds great. He was out there with the TNT title. He's the new champion. He heads out to the stage for the first time since winning the title from Darby last week. He gets in the ring. He thanks Jesus Christ for protecting him and for giving him the strength and power to defeat everybody. Miro took what Darby Allen said, and Miro says, now everybody knows it doesn't matter if you're the baddest on earth and the most popular in AEW. If he wants it, it's done. Miro says he forgives Darby and says all he has to do is go home and make more of his college student videos. We want Darby. We want Darby. The crowd starts chanting. Miro holds up the title and says, yeah, this is your Darby. I love it. Next Friday's Dynamite, Miro will defend the title. Lance Archer comes out and tells Miro to shut the hell up. Archer says he's been the monster here a lot longer than Miro has. Archer says he can't wait for Double or Nothing when he takes the title and makes Miro his Bulgarian bitch. You got to throw the word bitch around, otherwise it's not a hot promo.
That's it.
Miro says the difference between them is an old man doesn't hold me back. When he wants something, he just takes it. He tells Jake to stay away. All the yoga in the world can't save you now. He says Archer always says everyone dies, and it's true, but Miro insists Archer dies first. Jesse, what'd you tell me via text about Miro mentioning Jake, the old man? What did you tell me?
Well, Miro mentioning Jake, that's Jake heel turn confirmed.
There you go.
I got Jake turning on him, and like I said, it didn't make any sense now to have Jake with Lance right now because Lance is hitting his stride on the mic. Don't need Jake, and it would be a reason for Lance to lose and Miro retain and still protect Lance Archer.
Well, listen, I mean, they've proverbially booked themselves in a corner here with Miro just winning the championship, and then you want to book somebody who can't fucking lose either. 2 weeks to build a pay-per-view match between them. The only legitimate outcome here, and I'm speaking to everybody in AEW Creative, the only outcome here is Jake turning on Lance, giving the win to Miro, keeping Lance looking strong. That's the only outcome here. Yeah,
for sure. For sure. I didn't like, I texted this earlier, I didn't like Miro mentioning thanking Jesus Christ for it. For his success. Only reason for that is because we want to boo this guy, and nobody wants to boo someone thanking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, maybe he's a religious individual, bro.
You know, all right, I want to thank Jesus. Boo. No. Okay. What? No, we don't boo Jesus, man. That's just, nobody wants to go to hell. But nonetheless, they could have kept that one out. I still got a lot of bad blood built up for Miro and how he was booked with the best friends and everything else. But I tell you what, he's on the right fucking path.
Yeah,
he's on the right fucking path, man. This is the final form of Miro we were looking for.
Yeah, it's amazing how it took them all these fucking months to get it right. Finally.
Yeah. I want to see. I'm gonna need more of this. He's not off my fucking hook yet because they fucking buried him. But
it's almost as if they gave him this fucking gamer gimmick or whatever they did with Kip Sabian because Tony Khan. It almost seems like Tony Khan was feeling that if he presented Miro this way right from the start, fans wouldn't know who he is or fans wouldn't appreciate it. Like it seems like it was done intentionally to get up into this point. Now we're finally happy, but I mean, it took fucking forever to get us here. Yeah. Keep this up. Keep this, whatever path, if somebody took over his booking or changed some things up, whatever they're doing, stay the course. Yeah. Stay the course, because now we're getting the right Miro. Dynamite next week is happening on Friday, guys. Special night, 10 p.m. Miro versus Dante Martin of Top Flight. Should be a squash for Miro. He's defending the TNT title against Dante Martin. Joey Janela versus Hangman Page. Anthony Ogogo versus, actually not versus anyone, him and Cody in the weigh-in. Jade Cargill issues an open challenge. Celebration of the Inner Circle. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. That should be cool. Darby Allen with Sting versus Cesar Bononi with Ryan. Actually, no, it's not a tag team match. I'm sorry. Darby Allen with Sting versus Cesar Bononi with Ryan Nemeth. 1-year anniversary of Hikaru Shida as the AEW Women's World Champion, and Orange Cassidy will respond to Kenny Omega's offer to defer his title shot. That's pretty much what's happening on Dynamite next week. From what I could read there, folks, it's a skippable show. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Progress note. Ryan Nemeth.
Yeah.
He's coming along, man.
Is he?
He's coming along. Yeah. Gimmick. Work in the ring. He's doing it. He should be on TV soon, like on a full-time basis. He's doing big things.
Listen, he's no Dolph.
Might be better than Dolph.
He don't look good. He don't look better than Dolph.
Well, that I don't know who looks fucking better, but he needs more. He needs more work in the ring. I don't mean like needs to like improve. I mean he needs more of it.
Yeah,
and he's getting there, man. He is doing good things.
Good. If we're gonna have anything resembling Dolph Ziggler on Dynamite, I'd take it. Dolph is a great wrestler. And
you know what? If Nemeth continues to get better when Dolph's contract is up, he'll have a spot right there on AEW, a spot seamlessly right into storyline and hang out for a few months, before he calls it a career. Who knows?
Yeah.
So.
Finally, guys, the AEW World Tag Team titles on the line. Young Bucks with Brandon Cutler versus the Varsity Blondes. Julia Hart is there with the Blondes. This match was decent enough to be the main event, but very, very predictable. But at least the Varsity Blondes got some main event shine here. Nick bounced around like a ping pong ball here in this match, bouncing all over the place for Pillman and Garrison. And Pillman got cut off. Bucks went back to work. Pillman worked through a commercial break. Pillman tried a crossbody. Matt sidestepped. Lots of flamboyance, I should say, by the Bucks, man. They were dressed like cocky pricks tonight. I love it. Pillman hit crossbody to Nick after the break. Garrison got a hot tag. Garrison ran wild. Hip tosses, clotheslines, double spear, plancha. Bucks blocked a super powerbomb attempt by the Blondes. Matt and Nick then took Pillman down with some kicks to the back. Pillman hit a super kick for a near fall on Nick. Matt blind tagged in, used the sharpshooter on Pillman. Something so poetic, man, when you got a sharpshooter being applied to one of the members of the Hart Foundation's son. Just poetic justice. Something about it just seems great. So they got the sharpshooter on Pillman. Nick then sprayed cold spray or fucking Lysol or whatever the fuck that's carried in the bottle. He got the can. He sprayed something in Pillman's eyes. Cutler took the referee and distracted him. Matt sprayed the cold spray and also Julia Hart's eyes because she was complaining to the referee. They're cheating. Pillman tried to break the sharpshooter, but Nick hit him with a facebuster as Matt maintained the hold. Pillman eventually tapped out. So that was it. After the match was over, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston come out. They're celebrating the Bucks. Moxley and Kingston are there. Callis and Cutler bail out of the ring. Kingston and Moxley swing away on the champions. Kingston is biting Nick Jackson's face. Moxley put Matt to sleep. And Kingston does the same thing to Nick Jackson, so double sleepers. Bucks are out cold. The two end up stealing Matt and Nick's expensive Jordan sneakers. And that was the way the show went off the air. So, I'm not sure if Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston need to steal shoes. I'm sure they're making a nice fucking payday from Tony Khan, but decent enough match, and we got a tag team title match happening at Double or Nothing. Should be good.
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, I sincerely thought that a hot shot to Varsity Blondes was in the cards. So for that alone, it brought an extra interest level for me to the match because I thought it was possible, man. Because like I said, they've been going hard, they've been going strong, and this could be a trap match.
Yeah. But
if they got something already planned for somebody like Jon Moxley, then nothing's getting in the way of that.
No, not at all.
No.
Anyway, guys, that is the review of Dynamite tonight. I'm hoping you enjoyed what you heard. We got some great discussion happening on Wednesday night, and if you enjoyed anything on this show tonight, please don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up, man. We are a little off from the 750 likes goal. We got 530 here right now, so if you're in the chat, 750 is the goal. Let's try and get that up. Super chats are open.
I saw you take a bunch of hip-hop super chats the other night, so... Yeah. I'm here tonight to help answer any hip-hop super chat questions that you might receive tonight.
There you go. Anyway, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. 750 is the goal. hit the subscribe button. Follow us on social media. And, yeah, it's a great night. Check out my sponsor tonight as well, guys. Advanced.gg, the #1 in esports gaming supplement. Completely all natural, all organic, natural caffeine from green tea. I use it every single time I got to work. I use it every single time I got to go on Twitch. Man, I love it. It gives me boosts that coffee just doesn't give me. Advanced.gg. That's the website. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off everything and anything on their site all day long. And make sure you guys go and check out all the other videos that you might have missed. Monday Night Raw and NXT are both now live on the channel for this week's content, as well as an off-the-script extra talking about zombies. And the New York Post shitting on the zombies from Backlash, and The Miz finally injured for the first time in his career, out what could be 9 months.
What the fuck is wrong with MVP?
I don't know, man. MVP sounds like a fucking geek.
It's a fucking shill, man.
What a geek. Comparing The Undertaker and the zombies. How could you even fucking contemplate that?
It must be. Maybe it's something in catering. I think that WWE Kool-Aid must be served in catering or something. Because when you're over there, you just start drinking it, and stupid shit fly off your fingers on Twitter.
I want a more serious product. Zombies are not that. The Undertaker was fucking cool, and we were all growing up watching the product. Zombies on the show. I don't know who the fuck that appeals to.
No.
Anyway. Get these super chats going. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Thanks for stopping by again, Michelle. Moxley has Wild Thing as his new theme music. It sucks.
Ooh.
It may be, listen, it may just be the tag team music for fucking him and Kingston, man. I'm not looking too much into it.
He wasn't a tag team when he came out last week, man. Boo.
Listen, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to make Jon Moxley stand out more than anybody else. That's so they bought rights to his theme. I don't know.
He is the best interest song in the company.
I know, but he is the face of the company. So, I don't like it either, but we gotta live with it.
Jeez.
Munchie Time with a $4.99 super chat. John Cena's 5 moves of doom is nothing compared to Anthony Ogogo's Guy Punch, the most devastating finisher in the wrestling world. Bro, listen, I want to see fucking the excellence of execution come out of this guy at Double or Nothing. Drizzy Drew. God, I'm sorry, Jesse.
I'm sorry. By the way, shout out to Noelle Foley going through some things in her personal life. Go check out her Twitter if you're interested, but get well soon. Hope things get better for Noelle Foley.
Indeed. Sad story there.
Yes.
Michael, Drizzy Drew, thank you for the $4.99. I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Drizzy Drew with a $4.99. Honestly, they are saving Ogogo's abilities for Double or Nothing. Have a gut feeling it's going to be a pleasant surprise and coming out party. I could be wrong. Maybe it is. Who knows? The microscope will be even further magnified on Double or Nothing Sunday. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. Yo, JD and Jesse, this is ridiculous. Tony Khan and Mox, or had Mox in Kingston, steal my gimmick idea from Matt Riddle. Hashtag shoe collectors. WWE missed that boat here. Listen, I don't want any mention of Matt Riddle and shoes ever again on television. Ever. As soon as he got brought up to SmackDown, they fucking focused in on him not wearing shoes.
Yep.
Great! I got a set of eyeballs, Michael Cole. Will you tell me something I can't fucking see? Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. The Varsity Blondes will be tag team champions one day. Remember this super chat. I agree.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Tenario128 with a $10 super chat. What's your favorite Slayer album? Mine is Hell Awaits. And also, do you like Anthrax? I do like Anthrax, but not as much as Slayer. And my favorite Slayer album is Seasons of the Abyss. I also like Diablos and Musica too, even though a lot of people didn't like that one. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. Jesse, remember a few months ago when you said my idea to give the Varsity Blondes Letterman jackets was stupid? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
They were stupid.
Why is it stupid?
But their ability and their charisma is outshining their ridiculous attire, so I got no complaints about it.
They needed something to make them look like a legit tag team. They did.
I'll take it.
Maybe they are listening to the fucking show. We mentioned that several times.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked that for their attire. I mean, I'm not in love with it, but again, they're performing on a level where they can wear whatever the fuck they want. They're doing great things in the ring.
Rick O'Shea with the $1.99 super chat. Huge fan of Ogogo. ... On the buy-in. I'm a huge fan of Ogogo when I don't have to watch him fucking punch somebody in the midsection. Let's keep him off the fucking show. This guy's had 3 matches and nothing has changed.
No.
$2 super chat from Kevin Dunn's Feet OnlyFans account. He deleted his message. Maybe it was a little too rated R. I don't know. Eddie Hazard, $9.99 super chat. Since Dynamite will be at 10 p.m. next Friday after SmackDown, and since you guys will be in Jacksonville that weekend, will there be a live post show for either show, or are you taking that Friday off? Eddie, I don't take any fucking Fridays off, man. I'll be in Jacksonville with the fucking green screen doing the goddamn show from the venue. I'll be doing SmackDown from the hotel room, bro. Then Jesse and I are going to the fucking Fan Fest on Saturday afternoon.
Are we gonna do Raw on Monday?
Yes. I have to.
I don't have to do it with you, though.
No.
Fucking Raw, dude.
I don't know. I have to check with Hoot Media again. I think I'm not sure. I think Hoot Media got us tickets to fly home on Monday.
Really?
I think so. I have to check with Hoot Media. I'm not sure.
All right.
Freddie Prinze Jr.'s barber with a $4.99 super chat. Hello, JD and Jesse. I am digging the Varsity Blondes jackets. It reminds me of my favorite film, Summer Pitch. And listen, Freddie Prinze, it's no I Know What You Did Last Summer, okay? But when you can get Jennifer Love Hewitt back and starring next to you, then I'll pay attention. The Dud with a $2 super chat. When are you going to do an OTS extra on NXT releases? I'm not. Do you want to know why, The Dud? Because nobody that was released from NXT means anything. They're all dead weight. Now, do I advocate for people losing their jobs? No. But none of these people released were a difference maker. Who gives a shit?
There you go. Hoop Media get tickets. Why would you guys pay that ridiculous amount of money to fly back on the holiday?
Listen, man. Hoop Media, listen. Hoop Media knows best, okay?
Unbelievable, man.
The Dud, no. Red Pie with a $2 super chat. Jesse, where is Pineapple Peter?
Got buried, man.
He's in catering, baking for Titus.
Fucking buried.
Brian Mahoney with a $10 super chat. What I love about AEW is regardless of show, everything everybody does counts aside from lights out matches. Even if you don't watch the dark shows, it carries over. Telling me it counts is all I need. Yes, Brian, I think it's a great method. I think they're doing very well for themselves. They know what they're doing. I don't watch dark, unfortunately. All I care about is Dynamite. J Ray, $5 super chat. TNT is viewed in 90 million households and TBS is viewed in 91.5 million households. TBS is definitely not a downgrade. AEW will continue to succeed. Bro, people have a half a year before they get acquainted with AEW on TBS. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Dayron Sanders with a $5 super chat. This was one of my favorite episodes of Dynamite. One of the best things tonight to me was Pillman's promo, which reminded me so much of his father. If this was one of your favorite episodes of Dynamite, I'd love to see what was your second favorite, because this was not a top-tier Dynamite show.
There's a lot of mention of his father tonight. That's why. That's what also made me think that he might be winning that title.
I will be catching up on the Dark Side of the Ring thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kratos with a $5 super chat. If AEW Full Gears in St. Louis and you and Jesse are here, drinks are on me.
Hey, awesome.
We'll let you know, man. We will be in Jacksonville at the Fan Fest Saturday, Double Nothing weekend, and then at the Intuition Ale Works On Sunday, right before Double or Nothing, man, drinks will be cold. And I'll be pulling up in a Mustang, I'm sure. And Pilot will be playing on the stereo system. And Jesse and I will be really getting into a Mustang and driving away. And it will be filmed. Ty Sloan. Yes, it's a Mustang and not a fucking Charger, okay? Ty Sloan, $199. Thoughts on Alice Cooper, Danzig, and Power Man 5000. I listened to Power Man 5000 in high school, no longer. Alice Cooper and Danzig, never a big fan. Captain Solo, $5 super chat. Who would be a better match, Omega versus Daniel Bryan or Omega versus Gargano? And what is your favorite Disturbed song? Omega versus Bryan, I'm going with. And my favorite Disturbed song is Stricken. J Ray, $10 super chat. Great deal all around with Dynamite moving to TBS plus the third hour on Friday nights with Rampage and the big 4 TNT specials. Definitely not a loss for AEW. Good for the business as a whole. Indeed. Daron Sanders with a $5 super chat. Also, Max Caster rap skills is awesome. I'd rather listen to a 3-hour compilation of him rapping than watch Raw. I appreciate you and Jesse. Y'all are great. Thank you, Daron. I appreciate you. Munchie Time with a $4.99 super chat. Still waiting and still excited for my koozie to arrive. How would you book the Pinnacle? Would you have them take all the titles possible? OTS for life. You should have gotten your koozie by now, Munchie Time. You and Daron, I don't know what you two are the only ones that did not get your. OBS just cut out, so if you guys see a little skip, it's OBS.
Yeah, just saw it.
Whatever. We're almost done here. YouTube has not been pleasant to me this week. I don't know what's going on. J Ray with a $10 super chat. JD and Jesse, buy, sell, or hold. Jade Cargill as women's champion over Britt Baker. The Acclaimed over Varsity Blondes as tag team champions. Or Brian Cage over Lance Archer as TNT champion.
Cargill is not beating Britt Baker for that title.
No. I'm going to sell on that for now.
Yeah.
The Acclaimed over the Varsity Blondes.
I'm going to get any point. Cargill's going to win her title from a babyface champion.
I'm going to buy on the Acclaimed over Varsity Blondes as tag team champions. I'm going to sell, or actually hold, Brian Cage over Lance Archer as TNT champion.
Yeah.
J Ray with another $5 super chat. JD and Jesse, reports from earlier today reveal that the TNT Championship will be renamed the AEW television title once Dynamite moves to TBS. I think that sounds less prestigious, but that's just me.
I thought it would be the Turner title, to be honest.
The Turner title? Why don't we just keep it the TNT title?
Because it's on TBS, man. I mean,
but they'll be on TNT. So what happens when they have the title defended on one of their quarterly specials? Is it going to go back to being the TNT title?
That's why it's the AEW TV title.
Whatever.
And now it's on TV. It doesn't matter which network they're on.
No need to change. Rick O'Shea with a $4.99 super chat. Scorpio Sky's issue is not creative. He is boring. Maybe he is.
Who?
Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio? Yeah. Scorpio is kind of reminding me of Ricochet, man.
Ty Sloan, do you think WWE should invest in China big market? I don't care what they do with their money. Just write good shows. Sixers 205 with a $9.99 super chat. JD, do you like basketball? No, I do not. If so, do you think Miro would be a good NBA player? No, I do not. I do not.
That was a weird question. Why not a football
Well, his name
player?
is Sixers 205, so he must be a Philadelphia 76ers fan. But listen, man, that's what the super chats are for. You want to ask me ridiculous questions? That's your time to do so.
I'll make Miro a fullback in my backfield. I have him leading for my running back.
Ty Sloan with a $1.99 super chat. Atreyu, Fallout Boy, Yellow Card, Bravery. Bro, I haven't heard any of these bands ever before. I don't know where you're getting your musical fucking taste from. Are you just Googling bands now? Who would listen to a band named Fallout Boy? Sounds like a chick band.
Wait, that's a band? I thought that was one dude.
I don't know. I know of a video game named Fallout. Indigo with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD and Jesse, much respect. AEW was very solid tonight. I'm really happy for them. Double or Nothing is going to be too fire. Another awesome live stream. Thank you, Indigo. Sixers 205 with a $4.99 super chat. Great show. J-Ray. Buy, sell, or hold. Battle of the Big Fours. Royal Rumble Revolution. WrestleMania over Double or Nothing. All Out over SummerSlam. Or Full Gear over Survivor Series.
What?
Bro, whatever the Royal Rumble is, I'm buying on the Royal Rumble. I'm selling on Survivor Series, and I'm holding on SummerSlam. Fuck WrestleMania. Brian Mahoney with a $5 super chat. I am not against the idea of halftime shows for pay-per-views. I would put Stadium Stampede in the middle. If anything, it gives live audiences a breather. That's what it may end up being, Brian.
But that's not what they want. They don't want people to take breaks. Dude. No. They want you to sit and watch the damn screen and watch the match.
Yeah.
So...
The Gary Sphere with a $5 super chat. Jesse, put your hand over your forehead and look in the distance, and you will see Christian winning the Battle Royal.
No, he's not. He's going to lose.
We'll see.
He's going to lose.
Gotham Guy with a $5 super chat. I do miss Moxley's theme music, but I have to admit the Rick Vaughn's Wild Thing sounds 100% better than the original for an entrance theme, at least.
Moxley had the best fucking music in AEW, man. The best entrance.
PMAC with a $10 super chat. Favorite Rock? Hollywood Rock when he trashed Toronto, Sacramento, and Hogan. And that promo for saying, isn't this part where you rip the shirt and do your thing? What you gonna do, brother? When the Scooby-Doo? I don't know. Like, my favorite Rock was Hollywood Rock, bro. I think you got cut off there.
My favorite Rock is the corporate champion.
Hollywood Rock for me. Brian Mahoney with $5 super chat. I love Joshi Wrestling, guys, but it was a mistake to have the division built around it, no question. Yes, it was. PMAC, $5 super chat. You like Breaking Bad? I recommend you watch Snowfall. You'll love it. It's about how the CIA from drugs into the U.S. started up and the crack epidemic in L.A.
I am all about Snowfall, brother.
Really?
All in hell yeah.
What channel is it on? Is it Netflix?
TV show. That's FX.
FX.
It's FX. It's a TV 17 on FX. That is a great fucking show.
Fucking got this motherfucker flying around, bro. Fucking piece of shit fucking fly. Motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Fucking shit. Dude, he's flying around my fucking camera. This guy, I got these floodlights on me here. I couldn't wait to fucking kill this motherfucker. Oh my God, those greens. $4.99 super chat. Ask Jesse which big name does he think was hesitant to sign with AEW due to the rumored EVPs fighting?
I think it was Joe, to be honest.
Samoa Joe.
I think it was Joe. Yeah. I don't think Brian's going anywhere. Punk is the biggest fucking troll ever. I think it was Joe. And he's still waiting out his no compete clause anyway, so maybe he's just waiting to see how it all unfolds. But I think Joe is the guy they want to bring in. Joe is the surefire hit, can't miss. He definitely wants to work, fits in on that company. Everything ticks to bring in Samoa Joe. But if he doesn't like what's going on with the EVPs, maybe he'll have a change of heart. Who knows?
Wait, I'm waiting to see the reactions to me fucking killing a goddamn fly.
Fucking fly. What the fuck is wrong with this
Jesus
guy?
Christ. Who's next here? Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. Throwing this out there, Big Show was announced as a guest commentator for the Battle Royal. Guarantee the wild card will be Big Show. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to be seeing at fucking Double or Nothing. Big Show. The Battle Royal. Great. Antonio, $4.99 super chat. I'm glad Anthony Ogogo blocked me on Twitter. LOL, he can't wrestle for shit. Truth said. Oh, Jesus Christ. If he blocked you, forget about us.
What did he block?
You want to go check? Antonio in the chat, he blocked.
Why did he block? Let me see if I'm blocked.
Yeah, go check that. Big Gulp, $2 super chat. What if SCU got back together and Samoa Joe leads? Whatever, man. That would be good for them.
Hey, chat. What's his Twitter handle?
Yeah, what is it? I don't even know he had a Twitter. Anthony Ogogo. Furious Nation with a $10 super chat. What's up, JD and Jesse? Good Dynamite show tonight. Happy birthday to Aleister Black, who looks ripped. Also, the forbidden date tonight associated with Kane as well, May 19th. Happy birthday, Aleister Black. Let's get him on TV. Gerald Bryan with a $10 super chat. Tessa Blanchard would be a huge game changer for AEW's women's division. Yes, she would. And Ty Sloan, $4.99 super chat. Thoughts on the band Daft Punk breaking up? Rank these singers: Billy Idol, Elton John, Phil Collins, Ozzy Osbourne. Also, do you like the Beatles? Daft Punk. Don't listen to them. They broke up. I don't care. Rank these singers: Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Elton John, and Ozzy. And do I like the Beatles? No. I think that's about it. That's all we got, folks. Raging Girl Gamer. I want to see JD versus The Fly at SummerSlam with a $4.99 super chat. The Fly got fucking benched. He got squashed.
Oh, no. I think I got benched.
Are you kidding me?
Let me see. I can't find him.
Wait a minute. Anthony Ogogo. Twitter.
Oh, there we go. I think I'm good.
You good? I'm good too.
Let me see. There we go. Oh, I'm following them. Oh, we're good. Look at that.
There you go. Now you just put yourself in the line of fire.
Yeah, I'm getting fucked over now.
Oh my God, these greens with a $4.99 super chat. Do you think Punk finally debuts at All Out this year? No. I don't.
No.
You know who's going to debut? Me, in bed, sleeping. I got a big day tomorrow. Jesse, thank you for joining me tonight. Any parting words before we get out of here?
No, man. Not much. Let me see. Are you going to be ready for Volta Glass? What's the level we need to be trying to get?
We need to be at 1,300, which everybody should be at.
1,300?
Yeah.
Yo, started there, didn't we?
That's the fucking level cap. 1,300 for the raid. It's gonna feel like 1,320, but it is what it is. Sixers 205 with a $4.99 super chat. Will the Braves win the NL East? No. The way they're playing right now, fuck the Braves. They won tonight, though.
All right.
Magician Sapphire with a $10 super chat. Love you guys. A good show tonight. Who do you see Mox, Kingston feuding with if they win the titles? I don't know. It's a good question. We'll talk about that next week. We'll be in Jacksonville. We'll let you know. All right, guys. We are about to get out of here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. 750 likes is the goal. And thank you for all the super chats. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at JDfromNY206. What I want you guys to do is two things, man. Me and Jesse get in the Mustang. It's fucking hot. It was 80 degrees in New York City. The windows are definitely down. Give me those guitar emojis in the chat and that music you're listening to now on Max. Next time Jesse and I will see you, we'll be in Jacksonville. Thank you guys very much for everything, and we will see you next week for more AEW Dynamite right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.